16, Vincent Sellers. Number 21, Jovan White. And number 6, Mike Minter. Your school's coaches are Glenn Powell, strength and conditioning, Alexander offensive line, Zadie Jackson special teams and defensive line, Ernest Jane assistant head coach and offensive coordinator, and the head coach of your Sugar Skulls, Dixie Wooten. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please remove your hats and rise and join us in the singing of the national anthem, performed tonight by Reina Soto.
It's a football night in Tucson, the Indoor Football League at Tucson Arena. Tonight, the IFL's top two offenses face off in the I-10 tussle. The 3-3 Sugar Skulls hosting the 6-0 Arizona Rattlers. Promises to be a high-scoring affair here in the Boneyard. And we welcome you inside not only Tucson Arena, but inside our broadcast booth as well, along with the former Wildcat great and NFL great Glenn Parker. I'm Pat Paris. We welcome you to the Sugar Skulls broadcast. Glenn subbing in tonight for Jay Gonzalez. Glenn, we'll get down to this battle between the top two offenses and, of course, the rivalry in just a minute. You were on the bench last week for that thrilling come-from-behind victory when it looked like the Sugar Skulls were certainly going to lose that game after they fumbled the lead away. Yeah,
you know, they fumbled the lead. That's the discipline that I think they need to get back, but never giving up. Always understand there's time on the clock and everything's in the balance. When you can get after it, block a kick, get it all the way back to win a game, it's impressive.
It really was, and it was Winslow with the block. It was, as we take another look at it here in a moment, it was Tony Winslow with the block PAT. It was Jovan White racing back for the 2 points. And here it is there, and we see the ball caroming around. Javon White heads up. The players know the rules. They knew that they could get 2 points and retake the lead with that.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know if all the fans knew that rule.
Fortunately, we knew it in the broadcast when we were able to call it, but it really did turn what would have been such a negative game around. It's about finishing, though, and they've got to learn to finish still.
They have to learn to finish. They have to learn to be disciplined. They have to learn all those little things, and if they do that, they can really have a special season.
Well, a few minutes ago, I was able to talk to the head coach of the Sugar Skulls, Dixie Wooten, about this matchup tonight with his rivals, the Arizona Rattlers. Here with Dixie Wooten. Dixie, this is a rivalry to some. Mike Jones told me that it's not a rivalry until you guys win one of these.
Absolutely. You can't call it a rivalry until we win. Then we win, it's a rivalry. So we're trying to make it a rivalry tonight.
You've had success against Kevin Guy. You've had success against this team. Do you instill that in your team?
Absolutely. You know, like I tell my team, with me as a coach against him, I'm 4-3 against him as a coach. So, you know, I know how to beat these guys, and we guys just put it together and put a plan together and do it tonight.
What do you have to do differently against them than that's gone, you know, not so well in the past?
Just execute. You know, when it comes down to at the beginning of the end of the first half, we got to make sure we execute that because he do a great job of ball management and onside kicks in them situations. So we got to weather the storm in them situations, get them onside kicks, and keep that lead and finish at the end.
Do you like these games?
Absolutely, it's the best. You want to play the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Appreciate it, Pat.
All right,
Thank you.
And you see the red uniforms for the Sugar Skulls tonight, a favorite a lot of the fans. And Glenn, let's get your keys for both teams in tonight's game.
Well, I really think for the Rattlers, they just got to be the Rattlers. They are a strong team. They are the class of the league. They just have to do who they are. And then, of course, hey, for the Sugar Skulls, they have got to minimize the mistakes, the penalties, all those things, the discipline problems that cost you leads or games too often in a season.
And you're talking in the Sugar Skulls case of being the most penalized team in the league, and that is not a recipe for success whatsoever.
Not at all. And, you know, every time that setback occurs, it takes you off your schedule offensively. It puts you in a hole defensively. Penalties, that's the one you can control those, and that's just a lack of discipline.
And the Sugar Skulls did win the coin toss, and of course they always elect to defer to the second half, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. They will kick the ball off. We assume they'll kick the ball off, and then that will mean that the Rattlers and their vaunted offense will get the football first. We said number 1, number 2 offenses in the league. They're really very, very close. Sugar Skulls averaging over 52 points a game. The Rattlers at 53.8. So you see very close. And they're far and away the best, the most prolific offenses in the league.
Yeah, watching them, it's just what they do, the way they run their schemes, and their wide receiver play. You know, it comes down to so much in this league if you have a quarterback and some wide receivers.
It'll be Logan Justice teeing it up for the Sugar Skulls as we get set to play a little football. The rivalry, is it a rivalry? Well, it'd be nice if the Sugar Skulls could win one and really make it a rivalry. Running the football back for the Rattlers and doing a good job is Azell, and Brandon Azell, who we haven't seen a lot of returns for them, was able to take it back. Jamal Miles is the guy we generally see. They're going to start at about the 21. Not bad for indoor football.
No, you know, again, one guy got out of his lane, that opened up the gap, and that gives you another 7-8 yards on that return. Our
first look at Drew Powell. You look at his numbers, and they're pretty eye-popping. The 23 touchdowns is one better than what we've seen so far this season from Jaquan Neal. So they're 1 and 2 respectively in the league. He does have 6 interceptions. He threw 4 last week in a game that they still were able to win at Frisco. And the first thing they do is hand the ball off, and it's Brooks that makes his way outside and picks up about 5.
You like the fact that we come right out and they're running. You know, the Rattlers understand tempo and rhythm on offense. Now, you give themselves 6 or 7 easy. Start letting your offensive line eat a little bit, and that'll lead into get your quarterback comfortable with the rhythm of the game early.
We'll talk more with Glenn about his idea of this game and the indoor football league. And I know you like this this game because you can run the football a little bit more, but right away they go right back to the air, and Shannon Brooks hauls in the pass from Drew Powell. But it's different than the old Arena Football League that you and I both knew so well over the last 20 years.
Yeah, the Arena League, it didn't feel as much like football because of the nets in the back, the fact that there were so many more rules governing in-the-box play. The run game is an important part of this football game. It makes it feel more football to people. It also creates a conflict in your defense more often. It's not always just going to be a pass. So if you can put defenders in conflict, that's how you beat them.
A first down at the 19, and a quick pass is complete. A juke move by Haley, and Haley gets all the way inside the 5. Oh, they're going to mark him right at the 5, and Braxton Haley, what a move he put on there.
Yeah, they got to check for ankle injuries out in the backfield. That was quite the move.
Little shake, a little bake, and a little move, and picked up about 15 yards there, make it 14 yards down to the 5. So first and goal already for the Rattlers. They have a quick strike offense, but at the same time, the Rattlers can kind of move the chains as well. They have a real ability to kind of control the game if they want to.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of going to be their MO, especially with our offense as good they are. They want to keep us off the field.
And there's a keeper, and Powell in for the touchdown, 5-yard TD for the Arizona Rattlers. That's his danger, his feet as well.
Yep, but you never worry too much about the first drive in either team, simply because now the adjustments will be made. They'll see what they were doing and start adjusting.
Number 22, Ernesto Lacayo to attempt the extra point.
Lacayo comes on for the point after touchdown try. And Drew Powell put them on the board first, and they'll try to tack on the one more. And Haley is the one who does the holding for Lacayo. Spotted, it's up, and it looks to be good. And it is 7-0. The deficit already, and you said you make adjustments, so we'll worry about the defense the next time they come out of the field. Now it's really about answering, right, if you're the Sugar Skulls offense.
Yeah, you come out, find your return, stay on schedule. Coach Chin does a great job dialing up scenarios for his offense, and so I expect them to return serve, and we'll see what happens. They need to. They obviously, with this team, you can't get behind as they are prolific in scoring.
Take another look at the scoring play. Brought to you by Nova Home Loans, our instant replay sponsor all season long here on Sugar Skulls football. And you've got the it's really kind of a read option, isn't it, with the guy coming around, sweeping around with your receiver and the inside handoff, or you keep it yourself?
Yeah, they're reading, and in that instance there, he was reading the defensive end. It also allows your tackle to get out onto the backer because you're not blocking the defensive end.
So Lacayo will kick this off, and the Sugar Skulls will have an opportunity. Got one of the best returners in the IFL this year, and that's Benjamin Jones back for the Sugar Skulls. He was the IFL Special Teams Player of the Week after the San Diego game a few weeks back. He has been prolific in his returns. One touchdown return already, and he averages a great deal. They've really got a weapon here with Benjamin. Deep kick, though, by Lacayo. He's got to come all the way out of the back of the end zone. Sutter steps one where defender, and looks like a face mask, and it is at midfield. Lots of flags come in. Everybody saw that in the entire building. What a threat that Jones is.
Yeah, and the reason the emphatic throwing of the flags is how dangerous of a face mask that was. It's one thing to yank it down and get your hand off, but he tackled him by the face mask all the way to the ground.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 21. The penalty will be enforced half the distance of the goal. First down, Sugar Skulls.
Ty Druce, our head referee, the second game in a row, and you look at just the way he can move for a solid running back. He's able to really be light on his feet, isn't he?
Yeah, and a jump cut like that, a stop cut where he goes 0 to full speed again, that's tough on a small field like this, because the gap, once he gets through, it's hard to catch him.
So replace one Jones, Benjamin Jones, who returns it for Mike Jones, who now lines up next to DeQuan Neal in great shape starting at the 12-yard line. Neal hands off to Mike Jones. Mike Jones spins to his right, out of tackles, across the 5, down to the 4-yard line. What a run.
Yeah, it was a great job on the offensive line with the right tackle being able to get absolute leverage on the outside. Jamarcus Means, Cordell Brewster, the center. When they can get outside leverage, you can get the edge.
Jamarcus Means was out on that right edge, and you mentioned it.
The stretch play in this league is a little different in that if you get the edge, you take it, but if you don't, the tackle has to switch leverage quickly, and you cut behind him.
Nova Home Loans, the exclusive Sugar Skulls Instant Replay presenting sponsor. They've got the change sorted out here. The Sugar Skulls can get a first down. They're about a foot shy of the first down, sitting at about the 3.5-yard line. They need to get to the 3 for the first down. But they're very close to the goal line as well. Oh, they're going to keep it now, and DeQuan Neal sidesteps one tackler, but he's going to get smothered. That play was blown up right away.
Well, yeah, and the problem is you're reading the end, but that end was on him right away.
See another look here. Either way, this play wasn't going to go anywhere, it doesn't look like. Whether he handed it off or he kept it himself. So losing about a yard, so it'll be 3rd and we'll call it 2. As the Sugar Skulls try to answer that opening drive by the Rattlers. Neal sends his 2 receivers in motion. The handoff to Mike Jones, and he sidesteps a tackler in for the Tucson Sugar Skulls touchdown. There's your answer.
Well, you love the design. This is just another way of you bring your motion man under and you run the read. And a great job by Jones of tent staking his right leg and making that cut to go north and south on the field for the touchdown.
Guy who weighs 210 made himself real skinny there for a second, didn't he? Logan Justice. The ball's spotted, the kick is up, and it's good. And we've got a tie ball game. Answering the Sugar Skulls do. So it's all tied, 7-7, both teams with 1 possession. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarSkulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
Mike Jones with his 12th rushing touchdown. There you see him, 12th rushing touchdown of the season. He's tied for the lead now in rushing touchdowns in the IFL.
While understanding, using his body, using his legs, watching his offensive line, and getting the leverage he needs. He's a smart running back.
Brandon Nazell back to take the Justice boot. A little bit short right at the 2-yard line is Zell, and he's going to trip his way over the 10 to about the 14-yard line. It's a decent starting position for the Rattlers. And you and I talked before we came on the air about, you've got these two prolific offenses, the two highest scoring offenses. But when you meet like this in these rivalry games, sometimes when you think it's going to be this free for all, it's going to turn out to be 72-71. It doesn't always work out that way, Glenn.
No, it doesn't. Because they almost negate each other because they're both so good. But one of the defenses has to get good today. They have to get better. Well, or you got to win in special teams. Right now, Tucson has the edge in special teams. We were returned all the way out to half the distance to the goal on that penalty. It's the hidden yardage that you don't see.
The handoff again to Brooks. Got some room up the middle, and he's finally dragged down after a nice gain of about 9 yards, already up to the 23-yard line for the Rattlers. Boy, a heavy dose of run for the Rattlers that we haven't really seen this year from them.
Well, I would say that if I'm a coach, that's exactly what I want to do against our defense. I want to punish them. I want to run the ball at them, and then I want to keep the Tucson Sugar Skulls offense off the field because they do score points fast. They have a quick strike offense if they want.
Well, there's one thing we know about Kevin Guy is he's a master tactician, and he has got a game plan that right now seems to be working. Powell does go to the air, though, and he's got a wide-open receiver, and it's Braxton Haley, and that's a Arizona Rattlers touchdown. Just like that, they retake the lead. We think it's going to be a steady ground game, a diet of ground game, and right back to the air goes Powell.
Well, Haley's one of the top receivers in the league, and when you get him one-on-one, he's got leverage on that safety. Safety can play behind him and give up the ball in front, or he can play in front and give up the ball behind. But if the quarterback's at all good with the ball, as this one is, it's pretty easy to get a score in that situation.
So the quick strike nature of this offense comes through there for the Rattlers. And so far, these heavyweights are kind of trading punches right now, and the offenses are winning and the defenses are struggling a bit. The extra point is through, 14-7. Arizona Rattlers retaking the lead with 6:32 to go here, and our Nova Home Loans instant replay shows Bonner had plenty of time, and he had a target one-on-one, and he's not going to miss.
No, he's got the time. He's got an easy throw to make, whereas receiver, all he has to do is go up and win that ball.
Drew Powell completes to Braxton Haley. And they're talking about it right now as they get ready for kick coverage. It's the crazy thing about this indoor game. 1 minute you're catching a touchdown pass, the next minute you're lining up to cover a kick, right?
Yeah, you got to play every spot in this league. Even your offensive linemen have to practice at D-line occasionally, and vice versa.
Right.
You can't carry enough guys to have a full roster.
It's a 25-man roster, 21 of them dress, and you've got to be multifaceted in this league. A great crowd tonight here. We know that the Rattlers fans travel down, but there's plenty of Sugar Skulls fans here too, and this is one of those atmospheres you can't beat on a 100-degree day in Tucson, and we got the air conditioning on down here.
Air conditioning, they've got, they sell all sorts of beverages that are refreshing. They've got ice cream. I had some thrifty ice cream.
You did.
Brought me right back to
your favorite.
I grew up that way. The square scoops.
There you go. There's Benjamin Jones with the return. This time it's covered a little bit better, and he's taken down at the 11-yard line. Still not bad starting position.
No, and you've got plenty of room to work with your offense and with your motions, so it shouldn't hurt you.
That was a really high kick, and of course you've got to worry about the speakers here at Tucson Arena, and Lacayo's no stranger here. He's kicked here for several years coming in with the Rattlers, so he knows this building as well as anybody. Back to work. Goes to Quan Neal in the Tucson Sugar Skulls offense. Means Brewster and Fashawn up front. And there's a defensive lineman out of his stance. It's a free play for Neal. He throws deep, and it is caught for the touchdown. Quentin Pedroza, and it's a chance to be tied again if this play stands, which it should, Glenn.
It should. He was in the neutral zone. I'm surprised they didn't blow the whistle because he was unabated and went past the center, but that's why you stick with your play.
Illegal defense, number 67, out of his stance at the snap. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Well, the Sugar Skulls can strike quick, but when you give basically a free play to DeQuan Neal, he's going to make you pay, and he did there. See the Nova Home Loans instant replay. One more look at it. He just backpedals and fires a strike.
See, and you saw everybody, the offensive lineman and the D lineman all stopped. There was a great job of following through with the play.
Extra point. Knots this game up at 14. We're going to take a timeout with 5:04 left here in the first quarter. We've already had 28 points scored. Stay with us. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Strong-Built Plumbing, Air and Solar is giving you a free AeroSeal duct sealing with any new air conditioner. That's a $4,000 value. Call Strong-Built for details.
Call Strong-Built, the most comfortable call you'll ever make.
Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life. From DIY tips to unique adventures for the family, Creative Living showcases it all. Peek inside the kitchen at a local restaurant, preview popular travel destinations, or discover an exciting new hobby. Watch Creative Living Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday only on YourView and YourView.com. Creative Living. Imagine what you can do.
There is a look at Quentin Pedroza, who caught that last touchdown. The 25th touchdown pass by DeQuan Neal this season. You look at Pedroza's numbers, you can make that 5 touchdown receptions now. It's, I think, arguably the 2 best quarterbacks in the league right now, DeQuan Neal for the Sugar Skulls and Drew Powell for the Rattlers, both throwing touchdown passes on their last possessions. And these are 2 guys that have won league MVPs before, yet they've never played each other. They've never faced off until tonight.
Well, we're seeing it, though. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is.
We're watching some good offensive football. They will drive defensive minds a little crazy right now.
You're an offensive guy, though. You're okay with this.
I'm all right with it.
Yes. Well, back out there for the kickoff. Justice for the Sugar Skulls. Back to return again is Zell, and that goes out of the side of the corner of the end zone, and that'll be brought back out to the 20-yard line. So, unfortunately, with a small little football field,
it'll be placed at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of the idiosyncrasies, and it goes against the kick team every time.
Yeah, and I like the rule. They want the ball in play.
Right.
They want plays to happen. It's hard because it is such a short field that if you can't get height on your kick, so it's hard to get your coverage team all the way down the field in time to stop them from getting decent field position. So everybody's trying to find that edge in these kicking games, and when you fail out to the 20.
You fail out to the 20, which, in the outdoor game, it'd be failing out to the 40, which is pretty surprising when you think of it on that level. All right, back to work goes Drew Powell in a tie game, 14-14 here at the Boneyard. Powell back to the air, and he's got a man, and it's dropped. It was dropped by Miles. Jamal Miles looked like he had it, but just at the last minute, maybe the defender going right in front of him.
Yeah, I think he might have just caught his vision a little by being in front of him with his hands.
Sellers is down, Vincent Sellers, who's the defensive back. So we're going to have a timeout here while you see the replay brought to you by Nova Home Loans. And he kind of jams himself right into the boards, does Sellers, as he makes that play. He kind of flashes right in front of the receiver.
Yeah, you see him, he flashes in front, and I think that's what caught the receiver, and of course he went into his hands. He never really got it on his hands. And of course, like you said, he jammed himself into that. You know, we don't want to speculate. And he smashed it pretty good, but he's
still down now, and they're attending to him. So we'll see exactly what they're going to do here. You played a lot of football in your day, but you never had to worry about boards with pads along the side.
No,
did you?
you didn't. No, it's an aspect of this game that it's a lot of fun. But it's a little scary.
It's
too.
a little scary. We're going to take a timeout here as they attend to Vincent Sellers' tie ball game. 14-14. No, I guess, yes, there is a timeout on the field. So we're going to take a break, and we'll continue here at Tucson Arena with the score tied at 14. And I guess we're going to stay here during the broadcast. We're going to look back at those highlights from last week's game, Glenn. And this was a game, as I mentioned, you were down in the Sugar Skulls bench, and you got to see what was a remarkable game, 42-41 as we flash back to last week against Duke City. And talk about offense, we saw plenty of offense. We saw some defense as well by both teams. The Sugar Skulls played some pretty good defense at times as well.
They did. That game, though, I don't think it should have been that close. Too many times we fumbled, bad snaps, things weren't where they need. And when I say bad snaps, it's because all of a sudden the guys under center never does that. There's some issues there. There were discipline issues with penalties. Shouldn't have been that close a game. I think that the Sugar Skulls probably should have won that game by 2 touchdowns or better, but they made it interesting and exciting by keeping it close, staying with them, coming up at the end, and then scary how Duke City comes back and gets on top.
That's right.
And it seems, and you thought 13 seconds was too long. How about just put it through and get your points? And a phenomenal outcome for the Skulls.
Yeah, that was. You see Duke City taking the lead there late in that game, and they thought they're going to tack on the extra point. They're going to win 42-40, but that extra point is blocked by Tony Winslow, and then the heads-up play to sidestep a defender, spin out of that defender is Javon White, and number 21 becomes the hero in an instant.
Unlikely, almost impossible, and they pulled it off.
Have you ever seen it in all of your football days?
Not that I can ever say.
That a returned, block of a kick ends up being the difference in the game.
Yeah, no, and especially as the final play,
right,
walk off.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was nuts. But the Sugar Skulls, they've lost a couple games they probably should have won early in the year, and maybe they won a game they probably should have lost.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's the nature of the game. You're gonna get some, you're gonna steal some, and you're gonna unfortunately give some away.
That's right. So now we've got Vincent Sellers out right now, and it looks to be Carrington Thompson playing kind of deep center field. So you've got a wide receiver in. Remember, because of the nature of the roster and who gets to dress with only 21 players, you have 4 defensive backs dress and they don't have a 5th. So now you've got a wide receiver in, and Carrington Thompson in for Dixie Wooten on defense right now. That was a pickup of about 7.
Yeah, it's a tunnel screen on the big field. Same thing there. It was really well designed and thought out. Got him a good 7 yards.
Powell looks to his right, throws back to his left, and open is the receiver in Miles, and Miles gets down to the 10-yard line for a first down. And you see the little game being played here between the two head coaches when you've got Kevin Guy as the offensive coordinator, head coach on the Rattlers side, and you've got Dixie Wooten as the head coach and defensive coordinator on the other.
Well, and you're seeing what Guy wants to do. He wants to run the ball, a lot of short passes to draw the safeties and DBs up. And all he's got to do then is get one guy. Many times he has them staggered, so there's only one guy running deep, ISO'd against a safety, and that's where they're getting the long strike touchdowns.
Powell first and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line, and he's going to hand it off to Brooks, and Brooks is slammed down to the turf right away. In comes a flag. We'll have to see what that's about. And Maurice Jackson gets credit for the tackle, but you think there's a face mask.
Yeah, not the man who tackled him, but as he went through, defensive tackle, reached out with his hand, got a piece of him, jerked his head back, let go, didn't take him to the ground.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 88. The penalty of being forced half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Denzel Chekwukelu is the one who's called for that. And you'll see the Nova Home Loans instant replay. Glenn, what happened?
He'll tent stake his leg and see his head jack back right there. On the ground, number 88.
Well, now that'll be 1st and goal at the 4, so it's half the distance to the goal. And Powell hands the ball off. That's Haley, and that is in for an Arizona Rattlers touchdown. And they retake the lead once again.
Well-designed play. They were able to fool the right side of the Skulls defense. Lost complete contain over there. They pull their big offensive lineman around. That's Kenny Thomas. And by getting all that leverage, there's nothing out there. Kenny Thomas doesn't have to block anybody when he gets around the corner.
He just walks in, sticks the football across the goal line, and they retake the lead. And Ernesto Lacayo comes out to try to make it a 7-point advantage for the Rattlers here in Tucson. Up the middle, and it's blocked again, and Tony Winslow, can they return it? And they're going to say out of bounds and pulled down there. So Tony Winslow has a knack, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And how about Maurice Jackson wanted so badly to scoop and score that.
He wanted it. He had an interception return for a touchdown earlier this season. We're going to show you the touchdown again as the Rattlers take a 6-point lead. 52 seconds left here in the first quarter. Stay with us.
When it comes to controlling termites and pests at your home, everything is not always what it seems. Trust Termagon's pest control experts to rid your home of unwanted guests with the most advanced methods of pest elimination available. We are fast, friendly, and affordable. We're Termagon Termite and Pest Control.
Ready for a change of course? Discover a desert oasis studded with greens. Tee off into narrow canyons or go long on wide open fairways. With a storied golf history and a long list of courses designed by the greats of the game, your perfect golf getaway is right here in Tucson, Arizona. Find out more at visittucson.org/golf.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love.
Yes.
You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
Back here at the Boneyard, a 20-14 Rattlers lead after the missed PAT, and we've seen the running game play a large part in what the Rattlers are trying to do to not only get yardage and touchdowns, but to run a little clock, Glenn.
Run some clock. Now, a great special teams way to block that extra point. You know, you don't ever chase points, but those are those hidden plays that really come in handy later in the game.
We'll see how big a point that turns out to be. Ben Jones back for the Sugar Skulls to receive the Lacayo kick, and Lacayo boots it high and into the corner of the end zone, right against the boards. And Jones has to shake and bake, steps over one tackler, cuts to the right, and he's off to the races. One man to beat, and it's a Sugar Skulls touchdown, Benjamin Jones. Can't go any longer than that when you got the back against the boards, right?
Absolutely perfect kick, as well executed as can be. But Jones, that start-stop, his acceleration from zero, vision in the field, the ability to get back outside, and then picks up a late little block for himself. What a phenomenal return.
He is a weapon when it comes to the return game. The extra point drilled through, and the Sugar Skulls have their first lead of the game, Glenn, at 21-20 as we come to the end of the first quarter. And what a first quarter we've seen as we take one more look at the job that Benjamin Jones is able to do, shaking and baking and sidestepping and high-stepping his way into the end zone as you see the Nova Home Loans instant replay for the Jones touchdown. 21-20 at the end of the first quarter. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Tonight on O'Reilly Has the Answer.
I'll take big savings for $400.
Answer. This dealership is known for saving Southern Arizona thousands on Chevy vehicles for 96 years. Contestant number 1.
What is O'Reilly Chevrolet?
Correct.
Everyone wins at O'Reilly. Get a 2021 Blazer up to 10% off. Trax up to $8,000 off. And up to 18% off on select 2021 Chevys.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Slow flush? Block drain? With Strong-Built Plumbing Air and Solar, unclog any drain for just $39. We've got all your plumbing needs covered.
Call Strong Built, the most comfortable call you'll ever make.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarSkulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
For the first time tonight, the Sugar Skulls lead the Rattlers 21-20 as we get set for the start of the second quarter. Glenn, you were talking about the maybe the intangibles be the difference in this game. Well, how about the special teams of the Sugar Skulls so far?
Kellen, our guy Winslow gets himself a point by blocking one, and then Jones, his returns, the way our returns have been, the hidden yardage that the kickoff returns have given the Sugar Skulls this first quarter it's been the difference in, so far, them being down and them being up 1 point.
Well, Benjamin Jones had been averaging 21.3 yards per return. That's going to go way up, and now that's his second kickoff return for a touchdown of the season, and really, it's become a huge part of what the Sugar Skulls have been. We talk about how great their offense is, but when you have such a short field, it's easy to have a one-play touchdown drive, which they often have had this year, 1 or 2 plays. And it's back to kicking off is Logan Justice. We'll see if he tries to kick it deep into the end zone to the return man, Azell, or if he's going to low-line drive it, a little low-line drive, and he gets it right in the end zone, about 2 yards deep as Azell. He is wrapped up at the 10-yard line. They'll call him down at the 11, so nice kick coverage there for the Sugar Skulls.
Yeah. And it'll give a quick update. Vincent Sellers is up and walking around on the sidelines. Notice they talked to him a little bit. At least the good news is he's out there and he seems in good spirits.
That's good. Good to see. And you take a look at those first half statistics, and you really see that it's been a battle of the two quarterbacks and also the running game. I think that's the thing that's impressed me most with this game so far, is that the Rattlers have run the ball similar to what we generally see with the Sugar Skulls. So a bit different of a game plan for Kevin Guy tonight. Drew Powell with an empty backfield now, but then he fakes the inside handoff, sidesteps one tackler as Powell, and he steps his way to midfield and over midfield, across that down to the 23-yard line. Great turning nothing into something there.
Well, first you love the fact that once he decides that he gets out of this first mess, he goes north and south. He doesn't try to run away from people. He runs through some tackles. Not great tackling on the part of the Skulls. A lot of arms out extended, grabbing at air, grabbing at jersey. Nobody seeming to put their head on him.
6'3", 220. It's tough to bring down Drew Powell, and he knows that that's a weapon in his arsenal, is to be able to just kind of run through some of those arm tackles, and he did it there. First down now in Sugar Skulls territory at the 23 for Powell and the Rattlers. 2 in motion to his left. He's going to run it. Designed run for the quarterback, but great job by Connor Taylor of driving him backwards after a short gain.
And there's where you see that the quarterback is not a natural runner. There's a saying in when you coach kids is that the running back has to be his own best blocker. Well, he should understand what the leverage that his blocking running back had. He had inside-out leverage, but he ran outside into the tackle.
We've got an injured Sugar Skull. That's Connor Taylor down all of a sudden, and so we'll have to switch out middle linebackers, and you generally don't dress 2 middle linebackers either, so you're going to have to bring in, looks like they're looking at Ronald Collins. I think we're taking a timeout here with the injury, I believe. Let's send it to a break. 21-20, Sugar Skulls leading right now. 12:56 to go in the second quarter. Stay with us.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love. You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
All right, back here live. Second down now after that short run. Quickly thrown out to Brooks, the running back out of the backfield, takes a little swing pass. Here comes Connor Taylor back into the game, so he missed the one play. He had to sit out. He's right back in, and out will go Ronald Collins, the defensive lineman who filled in at middle linebacker for the one play. You see the replay brought to you by Nova Home Loans of about a 5-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. You know, you're always looking for a stop or 2 each half, and neither team's been able to do it so far, but here's an opportunity for the Skulls defense. Fakes the pitch, does Powell, then throws right over to Connor, and Brooks, I should say, and Brooks drilled out of bounds, but he does pick up the first down easily. Knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Well, they were able to pick up that first down with ease.
There was a confusion in the secondary between the linebacker and your safety as who had the running back coming out, or number 2 in that instance. So who had number 2? And you can see that nobody had him.
Wide open was Shannon Brooks, and he picks up the first down, driven out of bounds by Mike Mintzer, the defensive back. Now Powell's going to go under center here, 1st and goal from the 2. He hands it off, and it's in for the score, and that's Jamal Miles, the wide receiver, who quite often takes that kind of end-around run, and he scores with it.
And, you know, we run, the Skulls run it as well. So our defense should be used to seeing it, and so far they have been caught flat-footed twice by that play.
You see the Nova Home Loans instant replay just out of the reach of the defender. In that case, it was Kitchen. And a well-designed play for the 2-yard TD. And back on top go the Arizona Rattlers. Lacayo on to make it a 6-point advantage. And he misses it to the right. So he's missed 2 in a row as Lacayo's 26-21. The Rattlers retake the lead, but they miss the extra point. They take the lead again on this Jamal Miles handoff and score. You're watching Sugar Skulls football.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Football. We love the plays. We love the hits, but not the pain. Some people use ice, but others use Pima Pain Center.
Moobly moobly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many times can I say, oh yeah?
Sugar Skulls now trailing the Rattlers 26-21, 10-10 to go here in the second quarter, and back and forth we go, Glenn.
Well, yeah, it's the seesaw, but I'm kind of excited for the kick return.
That's right. Last time we saw Benjamin Jones return it 107 yards for a score. See if he can do it again. And the special teams have been key. You've seen 2 missed extra points now by Lacayo and the Rattlers, and you've seen the block on one, and you've seen a return for a touchdown on a kickoff coverage. So you've got a chance here to, really take the lead and get a little separation if you can score on this drive.
Well, you mentioned stops. You're kind of wondering when that first defensive stop is going to be.
And if you're a Sugar Skulls fan, you don't want to be when you've got the football. You want it to be when the Rattlers do, quite obviously. And right now, we've not seen even a hint of either team stopping the other. Lacayo kicks it deep, high. Benjamin Jones again at the back of the end zone. Here he comes, cuts to his right, cuts back to his left. One man's got him by the leg, and he's down at the 20-yard line again. A nice return. Got a flag down, though. You see the Nova Home Loans instant replay out to the 20. Here's the call.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 8. Half the distance to the end zone. First down, Sugar Skulls.
There's one of those penalties that we hadn't seen the Sugar Skulls commit until this point. But this is a big one because you're not at the 20. You're going to be at about the 2.5.
Yeah, that's a lot of yardage to lose on a penalty. And now you don't have as much room for your motion and your work in the end zone. So you've got to have, it changes who you are offensively. It changes your identity right now for at least till you can get some space.
Yeah, it was a little tug on the jersey, and I'm thinking that Benjamin Jones already passed that man, so it's unfortunate. Fake handoff, throws quickly, and that's Thompson with the quick catch, and he was met right away by the Rattlers defender.
Well, you really like the way the Rattlers defenders understood what was going on. They saw the drag underneath and closed distance fast.
So a few yards on the gain there, out over the 5-yard line, so a little bit more breathing room, and that'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Daquan Neal and the Sugar Skulls. Back to pass. Neal in his own end zone. He throws to great catch by Mike Jones, and Jones sidesteps a defender, and he's tripped up at the 20-yard line. Mike Jones made a catch that was pretty remarkable for a running back coming out the flat like that.
He did, and it's a hot route when his linebacker blitzed, so he just turned. The ball was not right on him. You're right, a fantastic play. Defense gets away with a small face mask in the
timeout for
middle
injury.
of the play, and the defender came up strong with the hit, ended up hurting himself. But here comes the face mask right there. And then this hit, the defender's the one that ends up coming up hurt.
Yeah,
Kyrie Woods.
Kyrie
Woods gets himself banged up.
So we've got a little timeout here on the field, but off goes Woods with no help. He's walking off the field by himself, so let's get right back to play. The Sugar Skulls huddled up over with Curtis Chen, the offensive coordinator. Curtis Chen, of course, was with the Rattlers last year, then back down here to take over the offense for Dixie Wooten. And what an offense we've seen here in 2022 is Daquan Neal fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, down the left side, and he picks up a good yardage to about the 7-yard line. I understand we have the owner of the Tucson Sugar Skulls, Kathy Guy, joining us now down on the sideline. And Kathy, this is always special, isn't it, when we get to see the Sugar Skulls and the Rattlers go head-to-head here in Tucson?
It's exciting, and I know a lot of people ask me how I feel about it, but I'm like, it's a win-win for us. I don't know if Kevin feels that way, but I do.
Well, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, but in a way, you both win and you both lose, I guess, in that household.
Right, so you choose, it's how you choose to look at it, right? It's either a win-win or a lose-lose.
Right.
I look at it as a win-win.
Well, it's a win-win for the state of Arizona because you've got two of the best teams in the Indoor Football League right here in our state. And, you know, the Northern Arizona Wranglers are playing great this year, too. So we should be very proud of what we're seeing here in the state of Arizona. And the fact that your husband's team might be 6-0, but your team, the Sugar Skulls, are playing much better football now on both sides of the ball.
Offense, number 1.
Yes, they're absolutely doing. We're definitely improving week by week. You know, the offense has been doing pretty well. I mean, we're in the top 2 categories in offense across the league. I think our defense needed some work, and I think Dixie's doing a good job in getting that to where it needs to be.
Kathy, are you one of those that really believes that the Sugar Skulls needs to win one of these rivalry games to make it a true rivalry?
Yes, I do. Yes, because I don't, I know Kevin, kicks around, but I'm tired of him telling me how he beats me all the time.
Well, let's get a win tonight. How about that?
That would be awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us and best of luck tonight. We appreciate the time. And there is a touchdown to Carrington Thompson. Your good luck, Kathy Guy. The Sugar Skulls retake the lead. What do you think about that, Kathy Guy? I think she's already unplugged. I'll ask you, Glenn Parker, what do you think about that?
A great job of using his body. He's actually interfered with here down here. Thompson is with Kyrie Woods. Kyrie Woods actually gets there too soon, but just using a big body and letting it get to you. Shielding the defender with his body and coming up with the play. Fantastic job by Carrington.
And a chance to go up by 2 here with the extra point try. And it is good, I believe. Yes, it's good. 28-26. The Sugar Skulls now have a 2-point advantage after this kneel to Carrington Thompson touchdown strike. 6:03 to go in the second quarter. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Tonight on O'Reilly Has the Answer.
I'll take experts for 400, please, Danny.
This place has experts ready to show you all the features and benefits of your new Chevy. Contestant number 2.
What is O'Reilly Chevrolet?
Correct.
Everyone wins at O'Reilly. Right now, get up to 18% off on select 2021 Chevys. 2021 Equinox up to 13% off. And 2021 Chevy Traverse up to $5,240 off.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
When it comes to controlling termites and pests at your home, everything is not always what it seems. Trust Termagon's pest control experts to rid your home of unwanted guests with the most advanced methods of pest elimination available. We are fast, friendly, and affordable. We're Termagon Termite and Pest Control.
Welcome back inside the Boneyard. As you see, Daquan Neal just threw this touchdown strike to Carrington Thompson. And that touchdown pass puts the Sugar Skulls back out front. Don't forget our Bet Rivers halftime report coming up. 6:03 away from that halftime starting. And what a ball game we have tonight. You're watching it on Cox Yearview, Arizona Channel 7. Of course, we're simulcasting on Fox Sports 1450 KTZR and streaming always on the Indoor Football League channel. As Logan Justice gets set to kick it off. And this time, we've got Miles back returning it. Miles takes that out of his own end zone. He's got a lot of room down the left side, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 22, but there is a flag down back at the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Looks like this might be coming back.
Yeah, it's a block in the back. Salim Brightwell, he actually tried not to do it.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 39. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Rattlers.
He had his hands up. He tried to show. It'll be happening right down here at the boards. You'll see him put his hands up, act like he didn't do anything, but he blocked him in the back. He got him.
That's why he had so much room coming up the sideline.
That's right.
That ball was almost out of bounds, wasn't it? He caught it right on top of the boards. So the Rattlers have to start at their own 6-yard line, trailing now by 2. And going under center is Drew Powell, he's starting there. Fakes the handoff in his own end zone, throws, ball up in the air, and it's incomplete. No, batted down, it's incomplete. Play will stop. A lot of mayhem on that play.
Yeah. Well, it was a middle screen set up, and I like that when he goes under center because that sets this up. It helps the timing of this play. But big hand gets on it and knocks it up.
Tony Winslow was there. I think it might be Collins there as well. Yeah, Ronald Collins was there, and the ball kind of might have gone off of Shannon Brooks' hands, the running back.
I think you're right. It shows you it might have been a little hot.
Well, in the shotgun this time, and an out route, and that's complete to Braxton Haley, and Haley's going to get the first down yardage and more, about out to the 20. So he picked up about 14. You know, they got out of that hole in a hurry with one pass.
Yeah, you know, that's disheartening for your defense and for the fans, of course, too. You think you might have something here, and now you're sitting at first down at midfield.
Drew Powell, a 2-time league MVP, including last year, and that's for a reason. In 2018, of course, he led the Iowa Barnstormers to a championship, and he was the MVP. Pressure on, he's hit, ball's incomplete, thrown on an out pattern to Jamal Miles just out of his reach, and boy, Powell paid that time. Connor Taylor knocking him down.
That's the first real pressure the Skulls have put on him, and you can see it affected his throw, it affected who he was. They've got to find a way to manufacture a little more pressure if they're going to get Drew Powell off his game.
Well, that'll bring up second down as the clock winds again. 3:40 left here in the second quarter of this action-packed, high-scoring affair. Powell breaks the huddle in the shotgun with Brooks sidecar to his right, 2 receivers in motion to his right, and the ball's tossed to his right. And that's Brooks, who shakes and bakes and knocks out of bounds at the 24-yard line. He picks up 5. Connor Taylor is there to knock him out of bounds.
Well, Winslow goes underneath here. He's not going to have the angle, but a nice job of covering that seam all the way across by Connor Taylor to get there and wrap things up.
It does bring up third down, though, and you've got to look for these opportunities as a defense to get a stop. Out near midfield. Powell batted up in the air. Oh, incomplete. The Sugar Skulls didn't have anybody in the area. That ball hung up a long time.
Yeah, Connor Taylor, he was coming on a blitz. That's why there was no one there. He got his hand on it to knock it down.
Officials, timeout for injury.
Yeah, and there's a player down. It looks like the wide receiver Troy Pelletier.
I think you're right. He's hobbled.
He was all the way down, not even in part of the play. He'd run down into the end zone, and now he's maybe cramping. So they've called a timeout here on 4th down. It'll be a big 4th down. 4th and 5, Glenn. And it's all about stops, as we see the Nova Home Loans instant replay. All about stops in this league. Neither team's gotten a stop to this point. The Sugar Skulls and Dixie Wooten have an opportunity at least.
If get the stop, great, and then you got to obviously capitalize on it. But this is one of those, you only get so many chances in a game where you're going to be on 4th and more than one or so. And can you get this stop? Interesting to see what Dixie Wooten dials up.
Well, you know what Kevin Guy's going to dial up. By the way, our next broadcast comes your way Saturday, May 28th, as the Sugar Skulls welcome back in the Northern Arizona Wranglers, who we saw a couple of weeks ago in a game that the Sugar Skulls were able to win. You know what Kevin Guy's dialing up, and that is staying out there and trying to get the first down. He's not going to kick it here in a game where field goals aren't going to do you much good. Drew Powell, the lefty, surveying the field. Nobody open. He's dancing around back there. No pressure. Now he's smothered, and that's going to be incomplete. And the Sugar Skulls defense comes up big, and Dixie Wooten is dancing and high-fiving at the 5.
Well, what he did, it was fantastic. He had his D-line drop. They did not rush, so it put more people back in the face. Powell couldn't see anything. There was great coverage down the field. Because they were spying him then, he couldn't run the ball. And when he finally tried to break out, it was too late.
You see him here kind of trying to direct the players downfield, but there was nowhere to go. And, that would have been intentional grounding if it wasn't just an incomplete pass. So all in all, things went very well for the Sugar Skulls defense there. And now offensively, you get the ball to 24.
And you have to capitalize on that turnover, because that's what that was.
Right.
Is a turnover.
Turnover on downs, and it acts like a turnover in this game. Well, the defensive lineman was off his stance. Remember, they have to stay down in their stance until the snap of the ball, and this time they blew the whistle.
Well, they have to stay in their stance.
Offside with contact. Defense number 99. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
They have to stay in their stance, and they have to actually line up at some part overlapping that offensive lineman. And Brewster, the center, he's a very efficient center. He doesn't have real long arms, and so you try to get him to where he strikes fast with those hands. I think he's frustrating that defense.
Oh, they're going to pitch it out, and that's Pedroza again. Pedroza breaks a tackle all the way down to the 6-yard line. And what a nice little pitch there. It's not really a pass, but it'll go down as a pass.
It goes as a pass, but Pedroza's a big body. He is not a small wide receiver, and he's tough to bring down, as you can see. He's thick.
He's already got one touchdown catch in the game so far tonight. We're coming up on the 1-minute warning. They're just going to let this clock wind down to the 1-minute warning, and that'll take us to a timeout. 28-26. The Sugar Skulls are down at the 7-yard line, knocking on the door. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays, like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love.
Yes.
You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low pricing your priority.
Sugar Skulls with 1 minute to go here in the first half have a chance to add to their lead. They're at the 7-yard line now. First and goal from the 7. Bet Rivers halftime coming up in a moment. Mike Jones has the football. He's going to run out of real estate. Knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line after a 1-yard gain. Oh, tempers are flaring a little bit here. Mike Jones getting under the skin of the Rattlers defense.
How important
Please
is this?
reset the game clock to 54 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 54.
they have the chance to score right now and then get the ball coming out at half and score again. They can really ramp up pressure on the Rattlers now, and so this takes on a lot more meaning, this one possession right here.
Certainly does. Glenn Parker joining us on the broadcast tonight. I'm Pat Paris. It's been an entertaining and exciting game so far, as the Sugar Skulls just got a defensive stop, the first time either one of these offenses were stopped tonight, and now they've got to capitalize it and convert it into a score here. Second and goal from the 5. Neal hands off to Mike Jones around left end again, gets a couple more, and that'll stop the clock. Remember, in the final minute of each half, the 1-minute timing rules kick in, and so they stop it when you go out of bounds, and that's exactly what happened with Mike Jones there. So third goal from the 3. And they're kind of chewing up a little bit of clock here, but if he stays in bounds, it'd chew up a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of wonder. They're trying to. They're keeping it on the ground. They obviously are trying to score. They're obviously trying to eat clock.
And it's interesting that Curtis Chin likes to go to the near side, the short side of the field a lot, right?
Yeah.
They like to run the football to the short side. They're got the ball all the way over the left hash. See what they do this time. This time Neal's going to throw. At least he's back. No, he's going to run. Sidesteps one into the end zone. Touchdown, Sugar Skulls, DeQuan Neal.
Never good if you're a defender to get run over by a quarterback. DeQuan Neal does one juke, realizes the defender's not biting, and puts his shoulder pads down and runs right to him. As he comes up, protection's good, but a lane opens. He jokes, says, all right, this guy's not biting, but I'll run him over. Nice job by DeQuan Neal.
And run him over he did. 6'2", 200. He plays even bigger than that, though, I think. It just feels like he's bigger than 6'2", 200.
Certainly runs like he's bigger than that.
Exactly, and the extra point tacked on. 35-26, the Sugar Skulls have the lead on the Rattlers with 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. As you see DeQuan Neal, you're right, just absolutely runs over the defender in Devontae Merriweather, who is a terrific defensive back who actually came into the game with 47 tackles, a team high for the Rattlers.
Well, a little different when you're tasked with, you're standing still and the guy's coming at you. In the secondary, you're usually chasing off to somebody or you're coming up strong. He had to kind of take that one on the chin.
Certainly did. Well, first half stats and highlights. We'll get Glenn Parker's thoughts about the Sugar Skulls' first half performance, and as well as what they'll have to do in the second half if they want to, for the first time in franchise history, actually beat the Arizona Rattlers. Looking strong right now, up by 9, and they'll get the ball to start the second half, but you got to play defense here for 45 seconds, and in the indoor game, that's an eternity.
Yes, it is.
3 timeouts. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
It starts with putting this ball in play and not letting it get out of bounds on you.
Now, Logan Justice knows the importance of that. Back to return is Jamal Miles, their top returner. The Rattlers were top returner. This ball 3 yards deep in the end zone. Out comes Miles. Finds a lane to his left, across midfield, all the way down, and finally tackled. Here comes a flag, though, and maybe that'll bring it back. Well, that was a heck of a return, but maybe it was aided by a penalty.
Maybe. It seems like it is. We'll get their call, but there were skulls all over the ground like bowling pins after that.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 9. 10-yard penalty, first hit Rattlers.
Kyrie Woods, flag for holding.
Officials timeout for injury.
I think it's right here at midfield. Yeah, he got a jersey, maybe just a tug of the jersey.
I couldn't tell. No, this is not good.
This isn't good because that's Benjamin Jones kind of hobbling right now. He's get up and walking, so that's a good sign. But again, you've got probably the league's best return man who's already returned one for a touchdown tonight, but he's on kick coverage as well.
Well, that speaks to what we were talking about earlier. You got to do multiple things here. You can't be a one-trick pony on this roster.
16-yard line is where the Rattlers will start, trailing by 9 with 38 seconds left. And Drew Powell has 2 receivers to his right in motion. Looks down the middle and throws, and that ball is complete. Touchdown, Braxton Haley. And just like that, the Rattlers have scored.
Well, Carrington Thompson was the deep safety, and he undercut that ball. Didn't take a very good angle to it. All he had to do was play center field, and instead he, for some reason, thought he was going to go under that and make a play, and no chance. You'll see it right here. He comes under there. All he had to do was play center field. He was behind him to begin with. All he has to do is run with him. And here's a great shot. We can see Carrington right in the frame. He goes over. He's way back here, and for some reason the angle is not close to being what it should have been.
They're going to go for 2 here, and the ball, they're going to call a false start. You know, in fairness,
offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty, retry.
In fairness, Carrington Thompson is a wide receiver pressed into service as a safety because Vincent Sellers went down to injury earlier in the game. But you're right. You can't let the defender or the offensive player get behind.
Yeah, I understand that he's replacing him, but if he was a wide receiver there, he would take a better angle. So it really shouldn't change that much for him.
Right. Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance, and now they're going to try to still score 2 points. Maybe Kevin Guy's lost faith in Lacayo as kicker because he's going from 2. And under pressure, and Powell he's out of bounds. He's got to be out of bounds, right? Yeah, they're going to call him out of bounds, so no good. A lot of pressure, and he just didn't have anybody open.
Nobody open, and early on he had an easy drag route open, but he couldn't see him, and he missed it.
So you get the touchdown to cut it to 3. You have an opportunity to either kick an extra point or go for 2, as you see the Nova Home Loans instant replay. So it's kind of a little bit of a win again for the special teams for the Sugar Skulls,
exactly
right?
What it is, yeah. And unfortunately, Powell did not see Haley on a whip route. The whip route where he comes inside, or a jerk route. He's the man in motion, comes in, dips in, and then goes back out. He was wide open, could have got it to him, but never saw him.
And in this indoor game, things happen fast. Still 33 seconds left. We were, talking about the Sugar Skulls needing to stop the Rattlers. Well, now the Rattlers are going to have to try to stop the Sugar Skulls with 33 seconds left and 3 timeouts.
That's right. And, depending on what type of return you get, that'll dictate what type of offense you put into play and how much you go for the points versus eating the clock and getting the ball coming out of the second half.
Well, for the Sugar Skulls, it does look like Benjamin Jones is back in there to return it, so that's a good sign. We saw him on the kick coverage get up a little gimpy, but now he is making his way down to this far left end zone to return the kick as Lacayo lines up on the far right side of the end zone of the goal line.
They're actually playing Jones short.
Oh, they are, and they've got Thompson now back. So
maybe thinking it's maybe going to be a short kick onside type.
Maybe one of those squibbers, or try to hit an up man. And he does try to kick it, or short hop it, and it does not go the 10 yards, so that'll be a penalty. So the Rattlers get flagged for illegal touching there.
Yeah, and it was really well played by the Skulls. They backed up. They stayed at that 10-yard line and made sure it was going to go 10. Nobody tried to run up and touch it. Showed good discipline there.
Well, it's almost like the Sugar Skulls knew what the play was.
Yeah.
They were in the huddle, and they knew. They were ready for it. Lacayo's kick was maybe a little bit short of where it needed to go. It didn't quite make 10 yards.
Wasn't enough on it, and they were all waiting, and finally they dove on
block, kicking team number 8. That 5-yard penalty will be banked and enforced following the succeeding kickoff. The ball will be re-kicked.
So they re-kick it.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. 31 seconds.
So they've got to re-kick it, and they're saying there was an illegal block because
there was an illegal block because the defender blocked. The kicking team blocked before the ball went 10 yards. And you can see him come in right here and
right
lower
there.
his
He's
shoulder.
already, because actually the Sugar Skull is going to go for the football, and if he can recover it, they're in great field position. You know, got great field position. Dixie's always coaching, isn't he?
Correction. Illegal touching by the kicking team at the 9-yard line. It'll be Sugar Skull's ball, 1st and goal at the 9.
Which is what we called to begin with.
Which is what we thought it was going to be, and I like this decision a lot better. I like this call a lot better by the veteran crew led by Ty Druce. They got it right in the end, and it benefits the Sugar Skulls. You know, you take that opportunity, you take that risk on the onside kick, and sometimes it can really bite you, and it may have bitten the Rattlers here.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about good offensive coordinators is they put pressure on the other offensive coordinator. And Coach Chin's a very good offensive coordinator in this league.
DeQuan Neal fires it a little behind. The pass was behind the intended receiver, Arthur Jackson. First time we've called his name tonight. He thinks he's being held as the ball's kind of behind him a little bit.
And that ball went right off a fan in the first row's head. A little girl.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate danger of being in the front row.
Dad's giving her a hug and comforting her. I don't think she's too badly hurt.
We'll keep an eye on that, but I think she is going to be okay. They seem to be just consoling her, and we'll move on here as the Sugar Skulls have 2nd and goal with 28 seconds to play here in the first half. DeQuan Neal looks left, throws quickly, and it's right through the hands of the intended receiver, Quentin Pedroza, who we just saw catch a touchdown pass not that long ago.
Well, the ball is coming out of his hand, DeQuan's hand, really hot right now. And because of the compacted field, he doesn't want anybody, he has to throw into smaller windows, so he's whipping it in there, but it becomes so hard to catch at that point.
3rd and goal from the 9. There's Curtis Chin, giving the play to DeQuan Neal. Time's not a factor here with 25 seconds left when you're already at 3rd and goal at the 9, but you want to punch this in. They're going to take a timeout.
There was confusion there.
Timeout. Sugar Skulls, they're first.
It started with Carrington Thompson. He didn't quite understand where to go. Coach Chin was trying to tell him, got frustrated, called the timeout. Smart, you had plenty of them.
Well, Carrington Thompson has now been forced to play both ways in this game, right?
Yeah, and you know, let's face it, he's a really good ball player, and he's done a lot of good things. But yeah, playing both ways, you're going to be tired, you're going to get a little confused. The fatigue can cause mental problems.
Right. It's a big target, too, 6'3", 188 from Western Michigan. They've got a couple of great receivers, one from Western Michigan in Carrington Thompson, one from Eastern Michigan in Arthur Jackson. They probably knew each other on opposite teams in the same state, same conference in college.
That's a really good conference up there, too. I like watching those teams.
35-32, the Skulls have a 3-point lead, trying to make it more before halftime. And don't forget, they'll get the ball to start the second half as well. DeQuan Neal under pressure, throws complete to Jackson. He's going to pick up 5 down to the 4-yard line. And now it's Kevin Guy who races in and calls a timeout with 19 seconds left. So Kevin Guy wants to make sure his team has some time left here. We'll see if this terrific football team, the Tucson Sugar Skulls, can find their way into the end zone on 4th and goal from the 4. DeQuan Neal, flag on the play. Ball is through the hands of Carrington Thompson, but this is going to be a defensive lineman out of his stance, right?
I think it's going to be us offsides. I think our motion guy crossed the line early. We'll see. You might be right.
Offside. Defense, number 67 in the neutral zone. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Still 4th down.
So watch, I think it's big 67 here.
Yeah, he just kind of bumps in.
Yep, that's Robert Landers. And they'll give you a little wiggle room, those motion wide receivers. They'll give you a few inches if you're over, but you know, they will not allow a lineman to move, especially if they don't stay completely squared up with the offensive player on the other side of the line. And now got a timeout called right before the snap.
Timeout. Sugar Skulls, they're second.
Wow, a little extracurricular activity down there. Arthur Jackson shoved the defender of the Rattlers, but no call. And we get the timeout instead.
You know, what you said about they're really on the defensive lineman or whatnot, and they let wide receivers get away with that seems patently unfair to me. Why are they taking the big guys? You know, the big guys can't do anything. Wait a minute.
Nope, you can't move. Do not move. But the wide receivers, they're a little bit on the line of scrimmage. Let it go. Well, they may have let a personal foul go there.
Just possible, yeah.
Yeah, with Arthur Jackson, and he needs to be careful. I know the frustration gets there, and you know, Arthur Jackson's been the top receiver for the Sugar Skulls all season. Came in with 10 touchdown catches, which was tied for most in the league by wide receiver. And here we go again, 4th and goal from the 2. Mike Jones next to DeQuan Neal. Neal rolls to his right, looking. Nobody's open. He just flips it in there. Caught! And that's going to be a touchdown if he holds on. And it's a touchdown, Sugar Skulls. And that's Pedroza, who hangs on and goes over the boards.
That's that big body we were talking about with Pedroza. What a great job of getting up for that ball, and then he just throws it up in the stands for a fan. And way to stay with his quarterback, you know, understanding he rolls, so he
is eligible.
Pedroza does a nice job of getting on that back line and running with his quarterback, staying with him, giving him a target to get to.
And you see the Nova Home Loans instant replay. Boy, did he get up in the air, really elevated. And because he lands on the boards there, that's inbounds all he has to do is complete the catch as he goes over the boards, which 2 referees got in there and saw it, and that's a touchdown.
And you saw right away, he had the ball in his head, he posted it up. You could only see it just come right above the boards.
So 7 seconds to go, and they do indeed capitalize on the onside kick try that was not successful. And Logan Justice drills it through to give the Sugar Skulls a 10-point lead, their largest lead of the game at 42-32 with 7 seconds to go. So they're going to have to give the ball back to the Rattlers one more time.
Well, you take some time, you know, squib it maybe, bounce it so that it starts eating some clock, something I'm sure that a lot of Buffalo Bills fans wish their
as you know all too well.
And you do that, you eat a little bit of that 7 seconds up.
Right.
They're going to get a play or 2 off, but
so 7 seconds left, and by the way, that's Pedroza's 2nd touchdown catch of the game. So, you know, you just do the math. These Sugar Skulls are on pace to score 84. Well, they already set their franchise record a couple of weeks ago with 72. So clearly, if something doesn't happen here, they're on their way to potentially another record-setting performance. Logan Justice. And the Rattlers are ready for any kind of a kick here, as the Sugar Skulls were on the last opportunity for their kick return team. So now, what are we going to see? Justice boots it high, and it goes to the deep man, Miles, and Miles is taken down at the 15-yard line by who else? It's Connor Taylor, who's been everywhere tonight.
Yeah, he's an active linebacker, a very good side-to-side and special teams guy as well. As he's blocked a kick, now has a nice tackle on a kickoff coverage team. So kind of doing it everything, isn't he?
Yes, he is. 42 points allowed by the Rattlers defense tonight is the most they've allowed all season long, and this is only for a half. So the Sugar Skulls are doing what other teams in this league in the first 6 games of the season have not been able to do, and that's put up points against this Rattlers defense.
Yeah, and between Winslow and him on the special teams and defensive side of the ball, guys are making plays everywhere.
Under center is Powell with 4 seconds to go. Throws it out quickly, and that's knocked out of bounds. It was quickly thrown to Jamal Miles, and there's no time left. That's going to end the half. So that does end the half. They were trying to slip a play in there, but it didn't happen, and now Kevin Guy's not happy. He gets a penalty flag thrown by Ty Druce, the head referee, down at the 5-yard line. You see, we're going to have to hear, they're going to sort this out. Kevin Guy said something that Ty Druce did not like, and that's going to result in a penalty that'll be banked for the start of the second half. And we will wait and see what they call here. Don't forget the Bet Rivers halftime report coming up next here on the broadcast, and Ty Druce is going to tell us. Here we go.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, Rattler head coach. The 15-yard penalty will be banked and enforced following the second half kickoff.
So put that in your memory bank as they bank the penalty as well. And we have Dixie Wooten standing by. Dixie, what a half on all 3 phases of your team have been playing terrific tonight.
Absolutely, man. They came to play, man. You know, one thing about it is they're stepping up to the challenge, but at the end of the day, it's just a half of football. We got to make sure we do the same thing in the second half, so we got to go make these adjustments and come out flying around.
Benjamin Jones has been quite a weapon all season for you, Dixie, but tonight he has been next level.
Big time, man. That's why he's back there. You know, he's a triple threat. He's a wide receiver, running back, and a kickoff returner. So when he see it, man, he hit it and fly, man. So he's big time for us.
What do you have to tell your team here at halftime with still another half, as you mentioned, to go?
We got to start off 0-0, and we got the ball first. So this drive is huge. Like, I know a Kevin Guy team, he's going to come out and try to onside kick us this first one. So we got to be ready for it. So we're going to come out, execute, fly around, and finish this game just like we started it.
Terrific start. Good luck in the second half, Dixie. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it, brother.
Dixie Wooten and his team led by guys like Benjamin Jones here, who returned it for a touchdown on one of the kickoffs, and they have, I'm going to have to say, around the league, they're looking at the score and they're surprised. 42-32. Not that the Sugar Skulls can score, but the Rattlers are down by 10.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody would be surprised by. You know, Rattlers are such a solid team. To be down 10 at half, not like them at all.
We're going to take a timeout. Don't forget the Bet Rivers halftime report is coming up next, but Daquan Neal and the Sugar Skulls have that 10-point halftime lead, 42-32 at the break. Stay with us.
Meet Blair.
Hi.
In her youth, Blair dreamt of becoming a pro basketball player. Today in accounts receivable, Blair pursues that elusive dream. One missed shot at a time. Blair, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service and the excitement of live in-game betting, where you can bet live on every game all season long.
Yes!
BetRivers.com, it's a whole new game.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Tonight on O'Reilly Has the Answer.
I'll take big savings for $400.
Answer. This dealership is known for saving Southern Arizona thousands on Chevy vehicles for 96 years. Contestant number 1.
What is O'Reilly Chevrolet?
Correct. Everyone wins at O'Reilly. Get a 2021 Blazer up to 10% off, Trax up to $8,000 off, and up to 18% off on select 2021 Chevys.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Ready for a change of course? Discover a desert oasis studded with greens. Tee off into narrow canyons or go long on wide open fairways. With a storied golf history and a long list of courses designed by the greats of the game, your perfect golf getaway is right here in Tucson, Arizona. Find out more at visittucson.org/golf.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarskulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
We're back here at the Boneyard. The Sugar Skulls have that 42-32 lead on the Arizona Rattlers. You heard me correctly. That is the score, 42-32. With Glenn Parker, the former Arizona Wildcat and NFL great, I'm Pat Paris. And Glenn, I know you appreciate this game as being high-scoring, fast-paced, and we've seen a lot of that tonight, certainly.
We have, but what's been the real difference, though? The real difference has been special teams and defense. And you know, if you can keep that up, if you can continue to hold your serve with offense and pick up a couple more big plays, you can win this ballgame. Yeah,
we've seen a lot of great things from Daquan Neal, the wide receivers. We've seen some terrific special teams play, and I think maybe, you know, as we look at, you know, after the game, when we talk about who's going to be our player of the game, it might just be somebody from the special teams unit, because that, in a lot of ways, Glenn, is a difference in this game at this point.
Yeah, return yards and blocked kick. You know, the blocked kick counts as a point. The return yards, you get 6 when you hit one forever, but you get a lot of other big returns, a lot of hidden yardage there. So, yeah, right now you'd have to say special teams is a surprise, and they're the ones really getting the job done.
And, of course, the Sugar Skulls, with the quick strike offense and their return ability, they get out yardage quite often, and they're getting out yardage tonight, but that's not a surprise. It's been a lot more of a tough sled for the Rattlers to get in the end zone than it has for the Sugar Skulls.
Yeah, I'd rather be out yardage than out pointed.
That's right.
I'll take the points anytime.
Yeah, and you look at the time of possession, that's not surprising either. It is taking a lot more effort, a lot more plays for Powell to get the Rattlers down the field than it is for Daquan Neal. And some of that's field possession. And in one case, the offense for the Sugar Skulls never even had to touch the ball because Benjamin Jones was able to return a kick for a touchdown, as you see here.
Yeah, and so when you talk about your special teams, that's one thing, and you talked about offense not touching the ball, but also let's credit the Skulls defense. They're making it hard for the Rattlers to go down the field quickly and score. There have been a few, but most of the time they're taking many plays, and remember, the more plays it takes, the more likely they are to make a mistake. And that's what they did, and they got to a point with a 4th down stop. Again, a turnover resulted in points for the Skulls.
Yep, they have 1 4th down stop, so a turnover on downs, and the Rattlers have been unable to stop the Sugar Skulls. And it's worth pointing out again, Glenn, the 42 points scored in a half tonight by the Sugar Skulls is more points than the Rattlers have allowed in an entire game all season.
That's saying a lot about this offense for the Skulls and what Curtis Chin has put together.
They are a dynamic-looking offense with a great quarterback, just like Powell is for the Rattlers. But right now, the Sugar Skulls defense has got the advantage here in this game. The Sugar Skulls are up by 10 points. We're going to take a timeout now.
Oh.
Careful, that's your head coach you just knocked down. Yeah, the 42-32, I think, as I mentioned before, Glenn, this is going to make people take notice tonight when they're looking at the IFL scoreboard around the rest of the league.
Yeah, it's going to open some eyes. People are going to be taking a look and wondering what exactly the Tucson team is doing to not only slow down the Rattlers, but then be so successful themselves offensively.
This is a defense that, you might question a little bit. You say, okay, they completely made over the defense for the Sugar Skulls. So Dixie Wooten decided last year wasn't good enough. I'm going to remake the defense. It has been several games where we've seen growing pains. Maybe finally we're seeing signs that this is the right way to approach it, and they've been able to turn things around.
I think you're right. That reboot and getting guys, just having your defenders in the right place at the right time, that's huge.
And huge as well, that catch by Quentin Pedroza out the back of the end zone. We're going to take a timeout now. It's the Bet Rivers halftime show. The Sugar Skulls leading the Rattlers 42-32 on Coxier View, Arizona, Channel 7, and on Fox Sports 1450 KTZR. Stay with us.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love.
Yes!
You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
Tonight on O'Reilly Has the Answer.
I'll take experts for 400, please, Danny.
This place has experts ready to show you all the features and benefits of your new Chevy. Contestant number 2.
What is O'Reilly Chevrolet?
Correct.
Everyone wins at O'Reilly. Right now, get up to 18% off on select 2021 Chevys, 2021 Equinox up to 13% off, and 2021 Chevy Traverse up to $5,240 off.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, you. We've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here. You're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for a Southwest adventure on Su Vida. Travel the state, enjoy the food, discover new artists, and fun things to do. Every week, J.R. and Vanessa share their discoveries with you.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YourView and YourView.com.
Ready for a change of course? Discover a desert oasis studded with greens. Tee off into narrow canyons or go long on wide open fairways. With a storied golf history and a long list of courses designed by the greats of the game, your perfect golf getaway is right here in Tucson, Arizona. Find out more at visittucson.org/golf.
Strong-built plumbing, air, and solar first-time client air conditioner tune-up now only $39 and includes a 39-point system inspection. Limited time offer. Call now to schedule.
Call Strong Builds, the most comfortable call you'll ever make.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarskulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
All right, we're back here at the Boneyard. Glenn Parker, Pat Paris, what a game we've seen. Is Dixie warned? That's only one half. He wants to start 0-0 here in the second half.
They're going to make their adjustments. Both teams are going to come out. They're going to figure out what they're doing wrong. You know the Rattlers are a proud team. They're going to come out really fired up. They know they have to try to get a stop at some point in this half. I would look for them to really get a little chippy, see if they can't get some penalties, get some hotheads going on the other side. And that's one way they can start picking up something. And you know, it's just up. The Skulls have it there. They can do anything they want from here on out. They've got to win this game.
You talk about, you know, kind of trying to get an edge. You wonder if Kevin Guy was okay with getting a personal foul there to fire up his team. Kevin Guy is trying to act like and probably sending a message that, hey, I'm into this. You guys need to be into this.
Yeah, I think he is. And, you know, the hard part is 15 yards.
It's a lot in this game.
A lot, and you're going to give that up knowing that you're already down 10 and the other team's got the ball and you haven't stopped them yet. So it should be interesting. Just, you know, see how they're playing this, but it's certainly, we've seen too much in the past few weeks with the Skulls team to think they've got it wrapped up.
They've got to finish games, and we haven't really seen that yet.
That's right.
We've seen double-digit leads evaporate late in games, and if they're going to have a double-digit lead late in this game, it's not a done deal.
That's right, and just Arizona, the Rattlers are too good. They're too well coached. They're too disciplined, I think, to just slip away.
Yes, and they'll probably got an earful from Kevin Guy here at halftime. I would think
that they did. I'm sure.
Yeah. If you're the Sugar Skulls, there's a lot to build on, though, with that mentality of look what we've been able to do against the best team in the league.
Yeah, you've got. I think defense can rightfully pride itself. It's tough, with Sellers being down and Carrington Thompson being back there. That creates some issues for them. But they've really played well. They've been where they're supposed to be, so they can hang out on that. Special teams, they're playing with great pride. They're really coming out and playing strong, and that has been a big difference in this game.
Absolutely right. As we see those highlights from the first half, as the Sugar Skulls get set for the second half, they built that 10-point lead through all three phases of the game. Glenn, a lot of times we see perhaps the offense, just outscores the other team, or maybe the defense has a terrific night where they're holding the other team out of the end zone. But in this case, we're really seeing the special teams come up big almost every time tonight that we've seen them have an opportunity. They've come through for the Sugar Skulls.
They have, and they've so far every sense of the special teams, meaning your kickoffs, your extra points, your defensive extra points, your defensive kickoffs, they have won every aspect. They've all played well. There hasn't been a letdown on any of them.
Well, a 6-0 Rattlers team that came in with all kinds of confidence hasn't seen the likes of this game this season. And there you see the block by Tony Winslow of the extra point. And you also saw the kickoff return by Benjamin Jones with his back against the wall, finds his way through a lane, creates a little opening himself and breaks a couple of tackles, and he's off to the races. And that has been the real difference in the game when you talk about a 10-point lead for the Sugar Skulls.
Yeah, Benjamin Jones, his ability to start, stop, jump cut, go full speed again, and then he's had strength to run through tackles. He ran through one guy, ran through an arm tackle, or I should say ran over one guy and then ran through an arm tackle. He's a weapon back there, and he's not your prototypical return man. When you look at him, he's kind of thick. He's a thicker dude.
So that not only did the Sugar Skulls score late in that first half to make it 42-32, but they're going to get the ball back here, and they've got a bank 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Kevin Guy that'll tack on after that.
And you hope that it was stressed to them how clean this has to be. This play has to be clean with your hands, with your attitude. You've already got 15 yards. Just take it.
And you wonder if there might be an onside kick again. And they've got it set up similar to the last onside kick, but no, Lacayo's going to boot it high and deep. And this is Benjamin Jones running it out. Cuts to his left, finds more room, back to his right. Here comes a flag. and he's across midfield, slammed down to the turf at the 20, but there's a flag out at the 11-yard line.
So we had a hold. A guy got right into the chest of one of the Skulls blockers, and the blocker wrapped his hands around him, pulled him, and then let go.
And this is what you're talking about. You don't want to do this because you just basically negate the penalty you were going to get.
That's right. Instead of having the ball probably inside the 10-yard line, now you're going to be at about the 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. They'll mark off the half the distance, then they'll bring out the 15. Now they're going to talk about it. And now they'll mark off the 15. So 5, 10, it's going to be at the 20.
So right in the middle of the field,
right.
You see that pull. That's what they're calling.
Yeah, you see the Nova Home Loans instant replay there. Benjamin
During the
Jones.
return, holding, receiving team, number 4. That penalty will be forced half the distance of goal. The banked foul against the Rattler head coach is then enforced 15 yards. The Rattlers have lost sideline privileges.
So he can't be on the field.
Can't be on the field, and that is a huge distraction for his team.
Yeah, you see that return in the hold. So at the end of the day, the Sugar Skulls have the ball at their own 20, and Kevin Guy is marching down to his bench where he'll have to remain for the rest of the game.
So is it just him? Well, it looks like another coach is coming out. But they said had lost. They said the Rattlers. They didn't say Coach Guy. Interesting.
It is interesting. DeQuan Neal. Empty backfield now. Quickly throws to Mike Jones. There's a flag, and Mike Jones has 10 yards for the first down, but they're going to say, you know what? I believe the right wide receiver wasn't far enough off the line.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 1. The stationary was closer than 3 yards to the adjacent guard. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That is one of those rules that I still can't wrap my head around in this league as to why it is there.
Yeah, what's the real advantage of him being 2.5 yards from the end than 3 yards?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Well, it negates a first down play and brings up 1st and 15 instead of a first down at the Rattlers 20. It's a first and 15 from the 15.
The chains.
Got a broken set of chains here.
And this is what we talk about, make sure your hands are clean. The return goes down to the 15, brings it back. Now we get there's a penalty. So you just, these are the things you can't do as a team. You cannot, on the most important drive, which is the next one, come out and do this.
So it's poise, it's discipline, it's being smart.
Yeah.
The things that the Sugar Skulls need to do. And now they're going to need to get a first down. It's first down from the 15, so just a little bit longer a field for DeQuan Neal. And there's a flag coming in, and DeQuan Neal's pulled down after getting about 2 yards on the play. And you wonder what that is. It illegal defense, illegal contact?
Yeah, it came in from the rear judge, so it'll be interesting. They're calling an illegal defense of some sort.
Remember, the linebacker has to stay 5 yards back in the belt at the snap.
Illegal defense, number 45. The defensive end was closer than 3 yards to the adjacent guard. Correction, was wider than the adjacent guard. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So it was actually on a lineman, defensive lineman. And that's something that a back judge could see because he's going to see the splits.
Yeah, he'll see if he's overlapped or not.
So first down and 10, we're back to that. And Mike Jones is back to running the football, and he's got a good 5 yards there, nearly 5 yards on the play. They'll call it 4. Well, why not go as, Mike Jones is there for a reason. He's one of the best running backs in the league for a reason.
That's right. you know, it's interesting where the D lineman has to line up on the tackle, or on the guards, right on the center, right on the guards. It should make it much easier for the guards, but the mentality is always to step back, and that I sometimes wonder when you're trying to teach these kids why they feel the need to step back from a guy who's right on them.
Good point. That's a great reception by Jackson. Arthur Jackson still on his feet. He does touch the boards there, so he's out of bounds, but that's a first down play. Good enough for a first down after a 6-7 yard gain.
Yeah, he makes some good moves back there. He's a running back. He's a guy that understands carrying the ball in space, so a nice job by him once he gets this ball.
Zipped was the Daquan Neal pass to Arthur Jackson, one of his favorite targets when he's healthy. Wasn't quite healthy last week, only played a little bit towards the end of the game last week. I mentioned he came in with 10 touchdown passes and looking for more tonight as the Sugar Skulls have a first down now at the 19-yard line of the Arizona Rattlers. Now this offensive line, and I know you're sitting next to me, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just giving you a glowing endorsement, but Glenn's been working with this offensive line a time or two this season, and they are solid. They are one of the best units on this team right now.
Well, Al Alexander's the real guy doing it all. I help out a little when I can. He's the day-to-day, the guy grinding, the guy teaching, and he does a great job with these guys.
Well, you two together in whatever combination are working right now, it's, as I mentioned, one of the strengths of this team has been that offensive line and the consistency, and I think that's the important part of it. These guys have been pretty much the same three the entire time, and they're a cohesive unit for sure.
Yeah, and you know, we only shoot 3 right now.
Right.
And it's you hope nothing happens.
Right. Two to his right in motion for Neal. He pushes it out to Jackson, and he breaks the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Sugar Skulls, Arthur Jackson.
Caught the Rattlers defense a little flat-footed, and I will tell you this, after that play, the Rattlers defenders, their body language is absolutely atrocious. They're all hands down, walking slow.
56 is eligible.
The Rattlers' body language is not good at this moment.
Justice trying to make it a 49-32 lead. Kick hits the goal post and it's no good, so it'll be 48-32, a 16-point advantage with 10:57 to go. Arthur Jackson.
You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Meet Blair.
Hi.
In her youth, Blair dreamt of becoming a pro basketball player. Today in accounts receivable, Blair pursues that elusive dream. One missed shot at a time. Blair, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service and the excitement of live in-game betting, where you can bet live on every game all season long.
Yes!
BetRivers.com, it's a whole new game.
Football. We love the plays. We love the hits, but not the pain. Some people use ice, but others use Pima Pain Center.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls Showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarskulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
Welcome back to the Boneyard. Sugar Skulls fans enjoying this one tonight. 48-32 the score. The Sugar Skulls on top of the Rattlers. You mentioned Arizona First let's talk about our O'Reilly Chevrolet hometown heroes. We appreciate all the men and women who serve our country, and the hometown hero tonight honored a few moments ago as the Sugar Skulls get set to kick this one off. You mentioned the body language of the Rattlers right now, and you know, they've been punched in the mouth, and we'll see if they can respond now.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the half, they were punched in the mouth. They didn't come out with near the fire I thought they would, and they gave up that touchdown, and you saw them just go flat.
High boot, long, and that's out of bounds, and that'll come out to the 25 now because they've already had one go out of bounds. That's really not what you want to see. A couple of mistakes here in the kicking game in the second half.
The ball is kicked out of bounds. By rule, it would be placed at the 25-yard line. First down.
Dixie's talking to him now like, man, you've got to put it in play. And you got to put it in play. I mean, it is hard because you are trying to take advantage of this arena. You're trying to take advantage of all these things, but at what cost?
Right. They've surprised the Rattlers a couple times with that little push pass, haven't they? It's very quick.
Yeah, it is. It's a shovel option type of thing, and if the defender takes any wrong angle, a guy like Jackson breaks it.
Well, Drew Powell back to work, trailing in this game by 16. He's going to keep it. He'll sidestep a couple of tacklers, and he's got a first down and still on his feet. And Drew Powell is going to score from 25 yards out. Missed tackles, Rattlers touchdown.
Too many guys grabbing at jerseys, not wrapping up, not hitting. Skull's really bad on the tackling right there.
We talk about finishing games and making sure that your focus look like a lack of focus right there.
Yeah, you know, you one missed tackle, two missed tackles, 3, 4 missed tackles. You can't have that. If you're there, you wrap up.
The quick strike nature of both these offenses means you're never out of these games, and so you can't. You start thinking, okay, we're up at least 2 scores at 16 points. You think that's a little bit of breathing room. Never breathing room in this game.
You think about it like basketball. It's about possessions, right? Is it a 1 or 2 possession game?
Powell's going to keep it again on the 2-point conversion. He scores on the 2-pointer. So Drew Powell, a one-man wrecking crew, totals 8 points in one possession, and now you're only down by 8.
Yep, and so all that good feeling you had, you gave up with a kick and then not tackling. So as good as special teams have been, you miss your PAT, and then you give up. You have a kick out of bounds.
Well, Drew Powell has the ability to run, but as you mentioned, generally it's on broken plays, and this was a play that was, a little off schedule, and he goes and he runs and he scores from 25 yards out.
Yeah. So the Skulls, again, now they've really got to regain their footing.
You don't want to be the one that. You don't want to have this drive be the one where they stop you on it.
That's right.
Yeah, you've got to keep scoring. Even in these games where we've seen them not be able to finish, a lot of times it's because they just stop scoring right at the end. You've got to keep the pedal firmly pressed to the floorboard here. 9:37 left. And the Sugar Skulls will get the ball back unless Lacayo tries an onside kick here. We've seen a lot of teams have success against the Sugar Skulls with onside kicks. Gonna boot it away this time. And it's Benjamin Jones right in the center of the field, takes it. And he's gonna get across the 10, out to the 15. He's knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Still pretty good return. Oh, Mike Jones returned at that time, not Benjamin Jones.
Well, Benjamin Jones was hobbled a little bit. I wonder if he's all right.
It might be. So you've got Mike Jones, number 8. You've got Benjamin Jones, number 9. And he shows his little nimble footwork there.
Good return. Got to the 15, 16-yard line. Now let's see what Coach Chin dials up and gets ready for us here, and see where we can get to.
Maybe Curtis Chin has that ability. Having been with the Rattlers last year, he knows this team well, right? He knows the ins and outs of that defense as well.
Yeah, he knows what a defensive coordinator is most likely to call. What's he going to do in this situation? How's he thinking?
Well, That was a nice play by Thompson and Carrington. Thompson lowered his shoulder and got a couple extra yards there as well. So a good pickup on first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
But, you know, that is a two-way street because their defensive coordinator knows what Chin is thinking in situations.
That's true. But Curtis Chin has DeQuan Neal, and DeQuan Neal is showing and proving to be every bit as good as any other quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
And he keeps it on the fake handoff there and picks up the first down. So he does what he needed to do. He got 2 yards, and that's more than enough for the first down. Move the chains.
That's right. It was a nice tackle, too, but not enough to stop the play.
These are the games in the Indoor Football League on tap on your view across the state. And here in southern Arizona, it's Channel 7. Up in the Phoenix area, it's Channel 4 on Cox Cable. You see next Saturday, the Rattlers are home. In fact, the next 2 Saturdays they are home. We'll be home Saturday, May 28th for the Rattlers for the Sugar Skulls hosting the Northern Arizona Wranglers. And then on the 29th, Sunday, it'll be a home game for the Rattlers again. So the Rattlers, a steady diet of home games coming up here after they've been out on the road the last 2 weeks. Quickly, complete, and Pedroza sidesteps one tackler. Boy, for a big guy, he sure can move, right?
Yeah, he can, and he's thicker, as we've talked about. He's a bigger guy, but he's got a good center of gravity on him. You watch the way he moves and uses his body well.
6'4", 235. That's a first down for the Sugar Skulls. They'll be at the 12-yard line, so first down at the 12. Rattlers defense getting pushed around a little bit by a Sugar Skulls team that we've seen the last 4 weeks, have been very good offensively. Mike Jones spun around, keeps his balance, and he ends up making his way past the line of scrimmage and picks up about 3.
Yeah, nice job, Mike Jones. You know, he's showing why he's highly thought of as a running back.
Right, all IFL. Gotta love the way you can use your running back. Sometimes you split him out, you still hand the ball off to him as he's split out.
Yeah, it's but I like the aspect of the run game being so important in this league.
Unlike the old days of the Arena Football League and
That's
those
right.
rules, it's much more pass happy and very little running unless you're at the goal line or something.
Right.
Yeah, you try to sneak it. Keeping it, DeQuan Neal into the end zone, touchdown Sugar Skulls, and they add to their lead.
That's a great answer by the Skulls. Great play calling by Coach Chin. DeQuan Neal, boy, he saw the opening and took off and got it. Really like the way DeQuan Neal has been playing this game.
This might be the best game we've seen. We've seen him put up a lot of touchdown passes. We've seen him put up a lot of yardage, but we've seen him do a lot of great things with his mind too, because he's making decisions on the fly, and they've been the right decision almost every time. Extra point coming. And it's good this time. 55-40, a 15-point lead for the Sugar Skulls. And we're going to take a timeout. 5:15 to go. Sugar Skulls have that lead. Stay with us. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Okay, fans, we are here on the field with 2 contestants for tonight.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarSkulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
55-40, Sugar Skulls leading the Rattlers here at the Boneyard. What a night for Daquan Neal. That's his second rushing touchdown. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns, so he's accounted for 6 touchdowns tonight already.
And as we said, just making the right decisions, using his mind.
Justice, a little shorter kick this time, returnable by Miles, Jamal Miles, across midfield, and he looks like he's gone, but 2 flags come in. It is a touchdown for now, but you can see a couple of those Rattlers guys on the kick return team are a little upset.
Yeah, they're exasperated because, you know, if you do your job, you keep doing your job, but somebody else doesn't, they can get after you. Looks like a hold. It looks like maybe Pedroia was held. I'm not sure.
Holding. Receiving team number 39. 10-yard penalty. First down, Rattlers.
Salim Brightwell flagged for the penalty.
Yeah, it was Pedroia. He was grabbing him right there by the collar.
So that then negates the touchdown. Of course, if he wasn't being held, maybe it wouldn't have been a touchdown.
Yeah, there's always that, right?
Yeah. So they'll start at the 10-yard line, and again, they're down by 2 scores. It's be a nice time for the Sugar Skulls to get their second stop of the game, because it's all about stops in this game, and the only stop so far goes to the defense of the Sugar Skulls. One time in the first half, they were able to get the ball turned over on downs. Powell's going to go deep, and he's got a man, and it's caught, juggled, and dropped. Incomplete. Looked like he had it. Again, he hit the boards, and the ball pops out. It was Braxton Haley who's burned the Sugar Skulls a couple of times tonight already.
Yeah, and there was enough of a defensive play on it that made it tough, as he did a nice job of tracking this ball over his shoulder. But right here, that little bit of shove and that little bit of hit just took the ball out of his hand.
Got the shove and got the wall involved, and that was it. So incomplete pass brings up second down now. 2nd and 10 from the 10 for Arizona. Drew Powell, empty backfield. Looks left, looks right, looks over the middle, throws, and it's through the hands, incomplete. Jamal Miles was open. That pass got on him in a hurry.
Yeah, Miles was open early, and I think Powell saw him and kind of missed him with that ball, almost like he knew he should have thrown it before and didn't. We got a player
Officials
down.
timeout for injury.
It's like Connor Taylor.
Connor Taylor, the linebacker, is almost like he's cramping, or you don't want to speculate too much, but he's certainly down. As you see the ball, still a catchable ball.
Yeah. And you saw Taylor through that whole play. It's kind of hard to see what happened. He almost like he when he planted his leg, he just kind of crumpled after he planted the leg. So let's hope for the best for him.
Let's hope it's something like that, but he doesn't want to put any weight on that left leg at all. He's walking gingerly off. And remember, you only dress one linebacker, so now you're in that situation again where you're probably going to bring in Ronald Collins. He's out there, Ronald Collins, who's one of your defensive linemen. It's an interesting makeup of the roster, but they dress 5 defensive linemen, and they like to rotate a couple of them in to keep them fresh, but now you're going to have one of those linemen play your linebacker position. Yeah, so right now they've moved Winslow to linebacker.
And he's more of the linebacker type when you look at him at his body.
Absolutely.
He's your small DN.
Right. Now he's got to remember the rules, and the official there is helping him remember. 5 yards back, you can't move until that ball's snapped, and then you can rush. Ball on the ground, and on the ball is Winslow. He's fighting with Powell.
Powell
might have it back.
It went between his legs.
Yeah, overran it a little bit. They're fighting for it. I think Powell has it back. Well, no, they're giving it to the Sugar Skulls.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to say that Tony Winslow, who is the special teams MVP the last couple of weeks.
Recovered by the defense. First down, Sugar Skulls.
I think Powell has an argument here. But one thing Winslow does when he gets on it, he runs over it, and it gets between his legs. Powell is trying to get it out from his legs. I don't know if they're considering that as possession, though. So
yes, I think you're right. Nova Home Loan shows you the instant replay. There you see the ball. It's between the legs of Tony Winslow, and somewhere he must have wrestled it out of Powell's hands. And they're not challenging it. I don't know that they would win a challenge regardless. But great field position, and that's a win for the Sugar Skulls defense again. At the 5-yard line, Daquan Neal, he's going to run it to his left. Not much room there. He's going to be stopped.
Again, going to that short side. The Rattlers do a nice job of stringing it out.
I think I said 5-yard line, but 3-yard line is where they started.
There's another look at it.
Yeah.
And you'll see Winslow he hits it so hard that it rolls back under him through his legs.
But I'm not sure Powell has it, clearly in his grasp either. As we come back here to live action now, the Sugar Skulls second and goal from the 3. And Daquan Neal has Mike Jones to his right. He's going to fake the toss to Jones, throw, and he throws a heater that goes right over the head of Raheem Harvey.
And a happy fan has it.
Yep. That ball had a little zip on it and a little high.
Little zip, little high. It bounced off of the receiver, off one of the Skulls coaches, and up into the stands.
That tells you how much heat that really had on the ball, right?
Yeah.
On that pass from Daquan Neal. Third and goal now from the 3. Really like to see the Sugar Skulls capitalize here. The first turnover of the game. Already up 2 scores. They can go up by 3 here with a touchdown or a field goal.
And you're at the 4th quarter, and you start putting a lot more pressure on the opposing offensive coordinator.
Well, Neal's going to take it, but he's smothered there. And just really nothing happening on that play. The Rattlers defense was ready for that.
The Rattlers have a player down.
Yep, we're going to stop it with 10. Well, they're.
Official timeout for injury.
Yeah, that clock ran a long time, but. Oh, yeah, we're going to take an injury timeout here. It looks like Robert Landers is the one who's down. Sugar Skulls leading 55-40, an important 4th down coming up. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Strong-Built Plumbing, Air and Solar is giving you a free AeroSeal duct sealing with any new air conditioner. That's a $4,000 value. Call Strong-Built for details.
Call Strong-Built, the most comfortable call you'll ever make.
Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life. From DIY tips to unique adventures for the family, Creative Living showcases it all. Peek inside the kitchen at a local restaurant, preview popular travel destinations, or discover an exciting new hobby. Watch Creative Living Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday only on YourView and YourView.com. Creative Living. Imagine what you can do.
Kevin Guy and the Rattlers in an unfamiliar position, down 15 here late in the 3rd quarter. Looks like the Sugar Skulls might line up Logan Justice, kick a field goal, and go up by 3 scores. And in this game, I'm not so sure you want to be getting field goals.
That's yet in the 3rd quarter.
You know, and field goals are not automatic in this league.
That's right.
To begin with, you know,
well, that's the end of the quarter as they run the clock. So we're heading to the 4th quarter. Sugar Skulls have that 15-point lead with a chance to add on more. Stay with us on Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
When it comes to controlling termites and pests at your home, everything is not always what it seems. Trust Termagon's pest control experts to rid your home of unwanted guests with the most advanced methods of pest elimination available. We are fast, friendly, and affordable. We're Termagon Termite and Pest Control.
Ready for a change of course? Discover a desert oasis studded with greens. Tee off into narrow canyons or go long on wide open fairways. With a storied golf history and a long list of courses designed by the greats of the game, your perfect golf getaway is right here in Tucson, Arizona. Find out more at visittucson.org/golf.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love.
Yes!
You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
Just about to start the fourth quarter here at the Boneyard, Tucson Arena in downtown Tucson. You look at the Sugar Skulls. That's a touchdown run by Daquan Neal. That helped them get up by that 55-40 lead, which we see right now. 6 touchdowns in total that Daquan Neal's responsible for tonight. 2 on the ground and throwing 4 touchdown passes. And the big play of the game so far defensively is this fumble recovery at the 3-yard line, but now they're going to have to settle for a field goal try by Logan Justice. He's lining up right now. This will go down as about a 19-yard with the 8-yard end zone, about a 19-yard field goal try here.
Pay attention to his follow-through. If he follows through well, he can make this pretty easily.
Nearly blocked, but it's good. Right down the middle. Boy, a couple of Rattlers penetrated the line there, but give Logan Justice credit. He's able to drill that right through despite the pressure. And you've got now a 58-40 lead, so now it's 3 possessions, Glenn.
Yeah, it's 3 possessions, and you start putting pressure on them to match, to kind of overreach themselves a little now. Yeah, there's plenty of time. Yeah, they can run their entire offense, but they also have in the back of their mind they can't have another stop. There cannot be another problem. They've got to start manufacturing things on defense for themselves, and they got to make sure they're so clean on offense that they just keep scoring.
You're watching tonight's game on Cox Yearview, Arizona, Channel 7. Also, we are simulcasting on Fox Sports 1450 KTZR, Jay Gonzalez's station. Glenn Parker sitting in for Jay tonight. And don't forget, you're watching Sugar Skulls football as well on the Indoor Football League YouTube channel. Get in on the action at goifl.com. I mentioned it earlier, but you know, now things are getting a little more serious. People around the league are probably going, okay, that was nice that they were up at halftime, but now all of a sudden 58-40 looks a little bit more concerning if you're a Rattlers fan, a little more impressive if you're around the league thinking that Sugar Skulls might pull the upset.
Yeah, but also if you're around the league going, wow, what are the Sugar Skulls doing on offense and defense that is getting them to this point?
That nobody else has been able to do to this point. Logan Justice high, returnable by Jamal Miles, straight up the middle, and he gets knocked into by Pedroza, the wide receiver, gave him a big shoulder and he went down.
Well, we talked about Pedroza's size. You know, he's a big, thick kid.
Yeah, this indoor game, generally you see receivers, if they're 6'2", 6'3", then they're not usually 235 pounds.
That's right. Connor Taylor, I think, is still out. I don't see him in there.
No, I don't see him either, so they'll go without Connor Taylor for the moment. And Dixie Wooten's defense. Last time out, they were able to get a fumble recovery on the first play. Tony Winslow was playing linebacker. Ball zipped out to the flat to Athey. The first time we've called him, I think, tonight. Todd Athey, who catches a first down pass good for 11 yards, and they're moving the chains. And you don't want a quick strike to answer right back. In fact, it's not just an answer, it's a little bit more than an answer because the Sugar Skulls only got the field goal on that last play.
That's right.
Drew Powell, empty backfield. They're thinking pass, pass, pass right now unless he takes off running himself. Pressure up the middle, but he dumps it off quickly, and it's Miles who's back at right at a first down marker again. Are they going to say? No, I think they're going to say he's short. It's about a 9-yard gain.
Well, they're making them actual execute plays to get down the field, and that's good. That's good football.
That's second down, 2nd and 1.
Of course,
at the 11.
You're looking, they know Winslow's at linebacker, so they're going to be throwing the ball because obviously if they get a running back or anybody into space, can he cover him?
And a push pass again, this time executed to Athey. Then he's going to get the first down. Picks up a couple, and that's all he needed was one. And he's a real weapon, Todd Athey. 4 touchdown catches coming in, and even the guys that don't play a whole lot are really good for the Arizona Rattlers. The Sugar Skulls fans are getting loud here at the Boneyard. Drew Powell faces a 3-score deficit. First time that's happened all year for them, and he's under pressure. He throws it and open, and a touchdown catch by Athey. Todd Athey finds his way, and he was wide open, and despite the pressure, Powell was able to find him.
Yeah, and it was a great job of getting pressure by Winslow running over the running back, but Powell had enough time, and all he had to do was float it to a wide open Athey. So a nice job by the Rattlers offense to come back, and as you said, that's a bigger answer.
Just over the defender's head and outstretched hand. That was Kitchen who was on that coverage there, and either they found a seam in the zone or it was a guy who lost his man.
Yeah, and when you're in the back of the end zone, it's hard to keep up horizontally with a guy and who's running from you.
And they're going to go for 2 again. They need points, and so they're going to keep going, and Powell keeps it. Powell dances around, and he breaks a tackle and goes in. He broke the last tackle. It was Javon White. It looked like he had him at the 1, but Powell goes in. A 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, and Powell almost cost himself that 2-point by making that last cut. But a great job. Now it's a 10-point game, and it's up to the Rattlers. They have to continue. Whether it's quick strike or not, they've got it. They can't have a field goal. They have to get a touchdown here.
Well, they were able to march their way down the field rather quickly. That replay again, the Nova Home Loans replay. Powell was getting hit down around the legs too when he threw that pass, and you're right, all he had to do was float it out there, but that's not an easy thing to do on that touchdown pass, and then you see what he's able to do with his legs there.
Right, yeah. And as I said, all he had to do was go into the end zone, but he made that last cut and almost got himself tackled because of it.
Now you got to watch out for an onside kick here. You've always got to watch out for an onside kick in this league, and in fact, some of those kickers we've seen will just line drive the ball low right off one of the kick coverage guys, so you got to be careful about that as well.
Well, Duke City last week, that's what they were doing.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's Mike Jones again back there. It's hard to, it's an 8, not a 9, I believe. So Benjamin Jones, who came up hobbled a little earlier on after returning one of the touchdowns. He got injured and will play a little bit later on, and it was actually a kick coverage play that he got injured on. So he'll be the deep man. A little confusion about where some guys are supposed to be on the kick return team for the Sugar Skulls.
Timeout. Sugar Skulls, they're first of the half.
Well, they had to burn a timeout on a kick return. You don't like to see that.
No.
game number 7 of the year, you'd think you'd know where to line up on the kick return, but I guess maybe with injuries, they've got guys that aren't necessarily used to being out there.
I think that's true. But that again goes back to being disciplined in your homework. Are you disciplined to know what you're supposed to be doing when you're on a second team of some special teams? That separates great teams from simply good teams. And you have to. That's a lot of the player to know to be that guy. And of course, Xavier Jackson called that timeout right away. Said, "Get over here. We can't have this.
Can't have that, especially if they execute an onside kick. You're out of position." And this, we've seen it so many times. The fourth quarter double-digit leads for this team are oftentimes not enough, and you don't want to make one of those mistakes. Well, 58-48 is the score. 11:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Lacayo will be kicking it off. And he'll tee it up here on the right side of the goal line. He's got the ball straight up and down, so it's not generally the way you kick one of those low line driver kicks that'll hit off a player. But he could still kick the top of it and have it carry him forward.
Yeah. Get a squib or a high bouncer.
Or he could just kick it away. And he's going to squib it. Doesn't go far enough. Sugar Skulls jump on it, and they've got the football. So second attempt of the night by Lacayo, and both of them have come up short.
And that was a good job by the hands team getting down on it. That was Gabriel Cunningham, I think, who came up with it.
So my apologies. That was a perfect timeout because they got the team ready. They got the hands team ready, right?
There you go.
And again, it was all kinds of contact, and the ball didn't even go 8 yards.
That's right. No, that was Javon White came up with that ball, I guess.
Now, he was huge last week on special teams. He's big again this week. Yeah, he shot right through there. Also, it was Arthur Jackson in the area, too. One of the two of them were going to come up with football, and they did. 8-yard line they're going to start at.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, but they were, they were ready. They were ready for the kick, and then they made a quick decision to get to it.
How important is it to get a touchdown on this drive now?
Yeah, well,
you got to make them pay. Quan Neal hands off to Mike Jones. He's going to bounce outside, not much room there. In fact, I don't know if he even got back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a yard.
The last 4 or 5 short side runs inside the red zone here, we've gotten, the Skulls have come away with almost no yardage.
Well, you don't want to make a mistake here, certainly, if you're the Sugar Skulls and DeQuan Neal, but at the same time, running the football, while it keeps the clock moving, that's nice. You're getting negative yards here in the last 2 series. DeQuan Neal, empty backfield. Gives it to Mike Jones on the sweep there, and Mike Jones rolls his way across the 5 down to the 3. So positive yards this time. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 3. You get him in motion, you got a little better chance here.
Yeah, and coming from the far side, so you have more field to run. He can put his leg in, make a good cut, and use the size that he has to run through people.
He's tough to stop on that down when he gets downhill like that.
Right.
Again, 3rd and goal here, under 10 minutes to play, coming up on the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. A 10-point lead for the Sugar Skulls. Boy, they'd like to add on to that. Neal looking, throws, caught, touchdown Arthur Jackson. Sugar Skulls add to their lead, and look at Curtis Chen fist pumping all the way down the field, the offensive coordinator.
Nice ball, great ball skills by Jackson to come up with that ball, get his jersey tugged from behind.
Number 56 is eligible.
Can't tell you how impressive it's been tonight for the Sugar Skulls against the top defense in the Indoor Football League, bar none. They are far and away the best defense to this point in 2022.
and the Skulls are not blinking.
And missed the extra point there, 64-48. That's the score as the Sugar Skulls capitalize on the recovery of an onside kick try. Neal to Jackson. Stay with us on Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Tonight on O'Reilly Has the Answer.
I'll take big savings for $400.
Answer. This dealership is known for saving Southern Arizona thousands on Chevy vehicles for 96 years. Contestant number 1.
What is O'Reilly Chevrolet?
Correct.
Everyone wins at O'Reilly. Get a 2021 Blazer up to 10% off, Trax up to $8,000 off, and up to 18% off on select 2021 Chevys.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Slow flush, block drain? With strong-built plumbing, air, and solar, unclog any drain for just $39. We've got all your plumbing needs covered.
Call Strong Build, the most comfortable call you'll ever make.
Attention Tucson, it's time for Sugar Skulls football. Get to the Tucson Convention Center, the Boneyard, for the next Sugar Skulls Showdown. For game information and tickets, go to TucsonSugarskulls.com. It's time for Sugar Skulls football.
We're back here at the Boneyard at Tucson Arena. The Sugar Skulls back to a 16-point lead now. Not quite the 18-point lead they had at the start of the fourth quarter when they scored right away. They were up 58-40 at that point. Now they're up 64-48. You see DeQuan Neal, and what a catch by Arthur Jackson as he's being tugged with his jersey. So that's 5 touchdown passes for DeQuan Neal and a couple of rushing touchdowns for him as well tonight.
Well, as we said before, he's making good decisions. He's not putting the ball in places that can get him in trouble. He's running with decisiveness when he needs to.
Logan Justice. Joel Miles back in his end zone. He'll take it out and he'll sprint up the middle. He's tripped up at the 15-yard line, just by the shoestring.
And you know, I don't even know if he was tripped up. It almost looked like when he planted his knee, his knee gave out. It was wild. He was moving so fast.
Well, it's an important under 8 minutes left now. We've seen the Sugar Skulls with 2-score leads this late in the game. Hold on, we've seen them give it up. So.
Well, as long as they keep their intensity, it'll serve them well. You know, I think when they've given them up in the past, it's because they kind of just lose focus.
Well, Drew Powell, you know, he's focused on engineering another drive, and he throws out here to Athey, and Todd Athey has it at midfield, and still on his feet. Couple of hits, doesn't bring him down until he gets down to the 21. A big pickup there of 14 yards already on this drive.
You had 2 people, Winslow and I believe it was our defensive lineman or defensive end, I couldn't quite tell, Chakuklu, who just simply tried to push him. They didn't come up to tackle, they came up to push him. That is not good enough. That is the type of thing that gets you beat. But look at that's a 2-man push from both of them.
Yeah, Chuck Wukelu had a definite chance to wrap him up, but he shoulder bumped him. And
yeah, I mean, it's just that's lazy football play.
And up the middle, pressure from Winslow. Powell gets away and just throws it away. It'll be incomplete, and he's out of the pocket, and he threw it past the yard marker, so he's good. But a lot of pressure that time. That's the first time we've seen Winslow at linebacker there put the pressure on up the middle.
Yeah, well, if you recall the one touchdown pass, it's because he blew up the guy into his legs. But we've actually, Powell has faced more pressure today than Neal. for sure.
That's true.
We have manufactured, we have been able to get pressure in certain different ways on him that they haven't been able to do to Neal.
Powell, 2nd down and 10. Throws out, caught, this time by Peltier. Peltier's been rather quiet tonight. One of their top receivers came in with 4 touchdown catches. He had 2 last week at Frisco. 3rd down now. This is big, Glenn. 3rd and 3. You know they'll go for, it'll be a 4-down territory at this point,
Right.
but give an opportunity here to make it a little more difficult. You're certainly making it, using up some clock. And
well, that's why it'll be interesting to see if they run the ball or throw, because they have been.
Now Powell's going to run, and a quarterback keeper. He's got all kinds of room. He high steps a defender, and he scores. Touchdown, Rattlers, and they're right back in it. He just hurdled Carrington Thompson, it looked like.
Yeah, he got up. Thompson went low. Thompson's not a hitter. He's not a defender. Thompson, of course, didn't wrap up. He just shot himself like a missile and put his head down. You'll see this right here. Hands are not out. He's just simply trying to knock him off his feet. Again, it's just not good football.
Going for 2 again. Powell's going to keep it, and he's going to go in again. Powell's Mr. Automatic with 2-point conversions tonight.
Well, yeah, he's got good vision and he's decisive. So when he goes to run, he knows what he's doing with it.
So that 16-point lead down to 8 points. This is getting a little bit tighter. 4:41 to go. The Sugar Skulls have the lead. Stay right here. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Meet Carl.
Sup?
Ever since he was a little boy, Carl dreamed of being baseball's greatest outfielder. There was only one problem. Carl, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service in the excitement of same-game parlays like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love.
Yes!
You finally caught something, Carl. BetRivers.com. It's a whole new game.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son, we're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
The Rattlers have never lost to the Tucson Sugar Skulls. They're 7-0 all-time in this intrastate rivalry. Drew Powell is trying to bring his team back. And what an effort athletically there.
Yeah. He, as we said, when he takes the ball, he knows where he's going with it.
3 touchdown passes, 3 touchdown runs, and 3 2-point conversions. That's all for Drew Powell tonight.
Just an easy day's work for him.
Just all in a day's work. Getting ready with 4:41 to kick the ball off again. We'll see, are they going to onside kick it again with Lacayo? He's lined up right on the left hash mark now, so much further over towards the center of the field. And he's going to try it again. And it's recovered by Arthur Jackson. And the Sugar Skulls will have the ball on the 9-yard line. The Hands team comes through again.
So now we'll see Coach Chin. What's he going to do? He's probably going to run the ball 3 or 4 times and try to get a touchdown with a pass. He wants that clock to run.
Offside. Kiki team number 7. The penalty will be forced half the distance to the goal. First down, Sugar Skulls.
So they'll get it at the 4.5 instead of the 9.
Yeah. And they're just playing they're playing the game well. If we give them a short field, they score fast. We get more points, more time. We score. All we have to do is stop them one time or have them miss an extra
field
points.
goal, or yes.
And we're gonna. will catch them. So,
the clock is running now, remember. Clock only stops on out-of-bounds plays and incomplete passes in the final minute. Empty backfield for Daquan Neal. Hands off to Mike Jones. Cuts back to his right into the end zone. Touchdown, Tucson Sugar Skulls. They answer right back. Well, that happened quick.
Yeah, that did. It was a really nice job of running. We've said this about Mike Jones before. You know, when he makes that cut and goes, he's hard to stop. The only way you stop is just don't give him that cut.
There's a flag down. Pedroza is the one talking to the officials.
There's no foul in the play. The try will be from the 3-yard line.
So I'm not sure what the flag was going to be for, but there is no foul on the play. Every extra point's big, but you got to connect on these. Missed a couple tonight, as Logan Justice. Made a big field goal, but need to get this extra point. And he drives it right through the middle of the uprights. So 71-56, the Sugar Skulls lead. And 3:28 left here in the regulation in the fourth quarter, and feel a little bit better after that, a 15-point lead versus that 8-point lead. We've got a look at the standings and what this means here in the Western Conference. Remember, with 14 teams, 7 in the West, 7 in the East, and the Rattlers at 6-0, the only undefeated team in all of indoor football. And you see the Sugar Skulls at 3-3. How big would this be to go to 4-3? You know, you're trying to be one of those top 4 teams to make the playoffs, and you've got Northern Arizona in a couple of weeks here, and you know you've got an opportunity to maybe move into second place here soon.
Yeah, that's right. And you've still got games, position to move with games to get you up the rankings rather than staying still.
I'll still have games against the Wranglers. Still have another game against the Rattlers in Phoenix coming up June 25th. So, yeah, this isn't a foregone conclusion. If you can win this game, you're setting yourself up for some special things potentially down the road.
Yeah.
Logan Justice, again, teeing it up. Now 71-56, 3:28 to go. Jamal Miles back at his goal line. The high kick at the 1. Miles gets to the outside, and he's drilled against the boards. And that's Pedroza again. Pedroza gets a pat on the helmet from Miles. Said, "Yep, you got me."
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. Say, yeah, you took me out. Thanks, bud. Nice play.
Tell you what, there's a lot of guys that are having special nights, and Quentin Pedroza's having one of those. He has been big on, obviously, catching footballs, including one where he flipped over the boards. He's been big on special teams.
He's done it in every aspect he's been asked to. And let's face it, most of these Skulls have. Most of the Skulls have played good games. There's been some lazy tackling occasionally, but other than that, they have really come to play.
Powell over the middle. Could have had 2 guys open. He completes it to Miles, who's flipped over right at the 15-yard line. It's actually 2 guys in the same area.
Yeah, their spacing was not great there.
There's another look at the, thanks to Nova Home Loans, our instant replay sponsor. You see Pedroza lower his shoulder and drive right through the man. And a little slap on the helmet, good job. And he gets some high fives from the crowd as well. First down now at the 15, clock's running, 2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Dixie Wooten wants his defenders to come up. Under pressure, Powell just throws it away. Terrific job there by Tony Winslow, coming right up the middle. Powell wisely threw the ball into the stands.
Well, that was a nice job because Chukwukalu actually dropped. They brought pressure. Chukwukalu is dropping. He's out there. He gets over and disrupts a lot of their pattern.
We've seen that a couple of times this season. Maurice Jackson did it a few games ago, actually intercepted a pass and scored on that. So they're doing a great job of maybe giving different looks to Powell. And
yeah, it's just a type of zone blitz or zone dog.
And there
they
we
do
go
it
again.
Yep.
Ball's thrown, and it's thrown behind the receiver, and it's incomplete. Nice job on defense by Mike Minter, and no pass interference call. The ball was just thrown behind the intended receiver, and that receiver was Haley.
Yeah, and Haley seems like he's a little hobbled right now, too.
Another look at it. Nova Home Loans instant replay, and Powell kind of locked in on him right away. It's good defense. Third down from the 15. Powell looking, under pressure, throws, ball into the ground. Now a flag comes out. The ball was intended for Shannon Brooks, the running back. And now Tony Winslow's getting an earful. He may have...
Illegal defense, number 24, illegal outside blitz.
Yeah, you've got to come straight up the middle. You can't go outside the...
Penalty, automatic, first down.
Yep, and that's a big one. Would have been fourth down. Instead, it's a first down.
And that's one of those rules that's like, you know, if you're coming, he's rushing, and the defensive end gets thrown inside, so he just naturally goes around him.
1 minute warning. We'll take a timeout. Sugar Skulls up 71-56. Stay with us.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Football. We love the plays. We love the hits, but not the pain. Some people use ice, but others use Pima Pain Center.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Great googly moogly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many times can I say oh yeah?
One minute to play here at Tucson Arena, and the Sugar Skulls clinging to that 71-56 lead, 15-point advantage. It's not a comfortable one, though, Glenn.
No, not with a minute where the clock is stopping.
Powell, first down at the 10, under pressure, throws high, incomplete. No flag. Todd Athey wants a flag, but that ball was way over his head, and boy, the pressure coming on from Maurice Jackson from the left side got to Powell.
Yeah, and you know, that's the type of thing where he wants that call, but what he probably didn't want the fact that he was almost a yard off, maybe 2 yards offside. They don't call that, so you can't be calling everything, I guess, but I didn't see any interference. I wasn't locked in on him, though. That's certainly not an interference.
Yeah.
That's begging for a call right there.
Second and goal from the 10. Powell throws incomplete. That's going to be a penalty on Minter. Mike Minter knocked down his man. It was Jamal Miles in the end zone, so that'll be a first and goal at the 2. You wonder if Dixie thinks they just ran into each other, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see a replay.
It's interference, defense number 6. The foul took place in the end zone. By rule, the volley placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Now, Mike Minter certainly pleading his case. I'm not sure we're going to see this necessarily.
It's one of the motion guys right back there.
Yeah, that's.
Well, you know, if you look at it, it looks like the offensive player's foot just slips.
Yeah.
And he starts to go down, and Minter just happens to be there. I think he's actually got a gripe.
Regardless, first and a goal from the 2. Powell's going to run to his left. He's going to score easily. Touchdown, Rattlers, and they are back in this with the chance now to cut this to a 7-point lead if they go for 2 here.
Which you know they will. Well,
Yeah.
no, they brought out a kicker. I don't know why you would.
You've been scoring every time on the 2-point.
I realize it makes sense within the score and when you're talking about points, but the Skulls have not stopped the Rattlers' run game at all in the red zone.
Right. Lacayo on for the extra point. Will cut it to 8 if he converts. And don't forget, Tony Winslow, that secret weapon right up the middle, and this time he's blocked, and the kick is up and good. 71-62, an 8-point lead for the Sugar Skulls. With 4 Sugar Skulls will break the huddle here. 44 seconds to play. And we thank you for joining us tonight on what has been an entertaining Saturday night here at Tucson Arena with Sugar Skulls football, an opportunity to win their first ever game against the dominant team in this league, the Arizona Rattlers. Keeping it is DeQuan Neal, and he's trying to pull a defender, and he's not able to. Gets about a yard. So he does get positive yardage
Timeout.
here.
Rattlers, they're
But he
second
only
and a
took
half.
4 seconds off the clock as
Right.
the timeout's called.
And the Rattlers, you know, you look at the way they're tackling. They're wrapping up. They're not just hitting people. They're, you know, they're playing with a lot of heart. I give the Rattlers credit right here.
Yeah, there was a time late third quarter, early fourth quarter where we saw some bad body language from the Rattlers, but I think they get invigorated when they see you know, Powell going in for touchdowns and 2-point conversions, and they can do the math. They're still in this game, but the Sugar Skulls can go a long way in pulling off the upset if they can get the ball in the end zone here. And it comes down to your offensive line here if they can.
Yeah. It's a lot to it here. You know, they're probably going to run the ball at least one more time. But, you know, maybe they throw on 3rd down instead of 4th.
DeQuan Neal's going to follow Mike Jones and get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard, so it's going to bring up 4th down at the 2. So he does get a yard. So
But he went out of bounds, which stopped the clock. Not smart. That's the danger you get with running to the boundary out there. You know, if you run to the field, you know where you're at. You get yourself down or into the end zone and make the Rattlers use that timeout.
So Justice is going to come on here for a huge field goal. Huge field goal try here. Ball will be spotted at the 10, so it'll be an 18-yard field goal try by Logan Justice. Made one earlier in this quarter. High snap. Ball's driven, and it's good. And the Sugar Skulls have a 2-score lead once again at 74-62, and that sets a new Sugar Skulls scoring record at 74 points. You know, we had a feeling it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I never imagined against the #1 defense of the Rattlers that the Sugar Skulls could score 74 points.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did, and it certainly made the league take notice. Now can they wrap it up and finish it?
That's it. There's still 33 seconds left. It's like the clock is going in slow motion or not even started. Are we sure they started the clock? You know, 16 seconds have gone off the clock since Drew Powell scored that touchdown to put them up, or to cut the lead to 71-62. Now it's 74-62. Well, that's the indoor game. Short field, fast scores.
I just really question that QB lead to the short side, that where you go out of bounds. That's just not smart.
Yeah, you could have forced them to use their final timeout. Instead, they still retain a timeout, do the Rattlers and Kevin Guy. (74-63), 33 seconds left. Logan Justice ready to boot this away to Jamal Miles, who's back deep, but he does a little squibber. Ball caroms. Miles gets it at the 2. cuts to his left. Room there, spins around to tackle across midfield, and he's driven out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Pedro's is upset. He did get hold. I was watching him all the way down the field. He did get held. He wanted the call, but he's the one that spun the ball carrier around with his actions.
Let's get behind our team. Defense.
Going to get a hand there just to spin around. Actually, he was going for the ball a little bit, too. Now, 25 seconds left. We've seen crazier things happen. Well, this one's not over for the Sugar Skulls. Their defense has to lock them down here. Powell under pressure, looked like a hold, not called. Powell's off to the races. He's down inside the 10 to the 5, down to the 4-yard line. There was no hold called. Dixie Wooten wanted a call. Ronald Collins looked like he was horse-collared there.
It sure looked like it, yeah.
Timeout by the Rattlers.
Timeout. Rattlers, their third of the half.
Now don't forget, Sugar Skulls on the road couple of weeks now, so our next telecast comes your way on May 28th at 6 o'clock. As the Sugar Skulls welcome back in the Northern Arizona Wranglers on Your View Channel 7, and of course streaming on the YouTube channel, and will be simulcast on Fox Sports 1450 KTZR. You just knew this was going to come down to the closing seconds, didn't you?
Yeah, it's the nature of the game, obviously, but it's the nature of the franchises involved, too, at this point.
This is a game that the Sugar Skulls have had as much as an 18-point lead, that double-digit lead throughout the second half. But right now, up 11, Powell has a chance to cut into that lead. Going to throw it under pressure.
Wow.
No hold there.
And they did not call it.
And he's out of bounds, so the clock will stop. They say he's out of bounds at the 1. So there's 9 seconds left.
You know, you have to ask yourself, referee and umpire, what are you looking at if you're not seeing that hold?
If we're seeing it up here.
You know, and the thing is, holding is not something to be called every play like so many fans think. You're allowed to hold within the framework of your own body. But when you're grabbing a guy and spinning him out of control.
There it is to the left.
So obvious.
Yeah, it sure is.
And you have two officials sitting there staring at it and not calling it.
Second and goal from the 1, 9 seconds to play. Powell, pressure up the middle, and he throws it away, incomplete. That's got to be grounding, right?
It's got to be grounding or a legal man downfield because it was a run play.
There's nobody around there. He's going to be sacked, so he throws the ball. Powell's pleading his case, but I didn't see a receiver anywhere near there.
Well, I didn't see a receiver, and I thought I saw the center downfield. I see. No, it wasn't, but that is definitely grounding.
That's a grounding.
The passer was hit while throwing the ball. By rule, that is not intentional grounding. Third down, Sugar Skulls.
Well, that's one interpretation.
That certainly is an interpretation. I'll tell you what. If that was the case, most intentional groundings would never happen, right?
Oh, right.
Third down and goal from the 1 with 6 seconds left. How can only 3 seconds come off the clock in that play? I guess so. Okay. You see Dixie Wooten applauding his defense. Third and goal from the 1. They're up 11. Can they put a cap on this? Powell spinning, fighting, down at the 6-inch line. That's it. Game over. Sugar Skulls win. Dixie Wooten celebrating 74-63. The Sugar Skulls have won it. They have won the game. And the celebration is on for the Sugar Skulls. The first time in franchise history they've defeated the Arizona Rattlers.
Well, they did it by coming out, playing intense the entire game, They were disciplined. They didn't suffer too many penalties. All the things we talked about they had to do, they did. Good job for the Skulls.
Nobody happier in this building than Dixie Wooten. And, of course, Kathy Guy, the owner of the Sugar Skulls, got to be pleased as well. You know, there's just something about a rivalry that's not a rivalry until you can start winning games.
And he sure looked like he reached out with this ball. I wonder.
His knee might be down.
The knee might be down. Hand went down, who knows, but that's what they call it.
The clock ran out, so even if you give them the touchdown, they still lose.
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
But, boy, the eyes have been opened around the league, I think, on this score, right?
I think so, too. And if the Skulls can continue and play like this, the stretch, they're going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams.
Well, the celebration, as I said, is on after the much-deserved victory for this franchise. Well, Dixie Wooten joins us. Congratulations, Dixie. You guys were able to put on quite a performance tonight. And finally, I guess he can't hear us right now. We'll get to him in just a second. But what I was going to say is, you know, when you're able to come out and do what they did against the top team in the league and the best defense in the league to score 74 points, that's been very impressive performance tonight.
It was, and they, in all aspects of the game, they played very well. They came up, they won in every aspect, and that's a complete team victory for them.
Dixie's ready. Dixie, you're celebrating along with your team a complete victory to finally get that W for this franchise against the Rattlers. As you get some congratulations there, your thoughts?
It was big, man. These guys play hard 4 quarters, man. We had a great practice this week, man. Them guys understood what we was up against, man, and we couldn't go under 500, so they came out fast, physical for 4 quarters, man. It was a beautiful thing.
74 points against the #1 defense in the Arizona Rattlers. That has to feel good about the way your team was able to execute and control this game offensively in a lot of ways, Dixie. Oh, we may have lost him for a second. You got me, Dixie?
I think his IFB is dead.
Yeah, I think we're having problems communicating with Dixie Wooten right now. May not be able to hear us. But we thank him. And congratulations to the Sugar Skulls for the upset victories you see on your screen, 74-63. I think a lot of people are probably surprised by the score and the offense that put up a franchise record, 74 points.
Yeah, and you know, they're fairly mistake-free on both sides of the ball. You know, and the Rattlers made the mistakes. The Rattlers had the turnovers. The Rattlers got stopped on 4th down. Too many mistakes by them created this win for the Skulls. They played really well and deserve to be very happy about this one.
Absolutely, and the Sugar Skulls faithful exiting the Boneyard with smiles on their faces. We'll be back. More post-game reaction and thoughts coming up. You're watching Tucson Sugar Skulls football.
Do you own your home? You may qualify for a cash-out refinance. Cash for home renovations, paying debt, or for whatever you need most. Connect with your local loan officer at Nova Home Loans today and see what you qualify for. Rates are still historically low and home values have increased, which could mean more cash to you. Don't wait. Visit NovaHomeLoans.com today to get started. Nova Home Loans. Our mission is simple. Yes.
Place your bets, place your bets. Basketball, place your bets. Baseball, place your bets. Whatever your game, place your bets at Arizona's best bet, Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar. Place your bets in our kiosks 24 hours a day. You can even place your bets from wherever you are using the Desert Diamond Sports app. Fun to watch, easy to bet, fun to play. The new Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar is Arizona's best bet.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Football. We love the plays. We love the hits, but not the pain. Some people use ice, but others use Pima Pain Center.
Ready for a change of course? Discover a desert oasis studded with greens. Tee off into narrow canyons or go long on wide open fairways. With a storied golf history and a long list of courses designed by the greats of the game, your perfect golf getaway is right here in Tucson, Arizona. Find out more at visittucson.org/golf.
Meet Blair.
Hi.
In her youth, Blair dreamt of becoming a pro basketball player. Today in accounts receivable, Blair pursues that elusive dream. One missed shot at a time. Blair, you can play to win with BetRivers.com, featuring award-winning customer service and the excitement of live in-game betting, where you can bet live on every game all season long.
Yes!
BetRivers.com, it's a whole new game.
We're back here at the Boneyard, 74-63. The Sugar Skulls finally get the victory over the Arizona Rattlers, now 1-7 as a franchise against the Rattlers. The 72 points, obviously, from a couple of weeks ago was the franchise record. Now it's 74 points. We're going to give the player of the game to Tony Winslow, who did a lot of great things tonight defensively.
Well, not only defensively, special teams.
Yep.
You know, he comes up with a block kick, and then defensively, because Connor Taylor goes out, he has to drop back and become a backer rather than that D end. And then he did a nice job both pressuring, getting pressures, getting hits on the quarterback, dropping when he had to, tackles in the field. He played a really complete game. He deserves player of the game, but there's probably 3 or 4 other guys that do as well.
We talk about this defense, and it was a makeover. It was as you called it, a reboot in 2022 for Dixie Wooten and his defense. The maturity of this young defense, we've really seen it the last couple of weeks.
You have, and you've seen them. They're understanding what they're supposed to do, their roles within the defense. They're understanding what Dixie wants them to do and what they're not just what they're supposed to do, but what becomes of what they're doing. And they're starting to see it. They're playing with confidence, and you see them now. They're coming out with a little swagger, too.
It's impressive that this team did it in all 3 phases, right? We see sometimes an offense can be ahead of the defense, which is what predominantly has been this 2022 season. Defense catches up quite a bit in the last 2 weeks, but it's really been the special teams of the last 2 weeks that have won the game for them.
You know, it's an old standby, but it's 1/3 of the game, and not enough people put attention to it. And Dixie's really paid attention to it. You watch in practice, Xavier Jackson is coaching them up, and being aggressive when you can be aggressive, and that's, you know, and blocking kicks, you can be aggressive there. The way you attack on your returns, you can be aggressive there, and being smart and being clean, and it was a huge part of the game today, and it was a huge part last week, obviously.
Glenn, you've been on Super Bowl teams. You know what it takes to be a team that wins championships or gets to the championship game. This team the Sugar Skulls seems to be trending towards a team that could be a real tough matchup in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if they continue to be disciplined, if they continue that trend, they have enough talent and the coaching staff to get it done.
Yeah. What do they take away from this game? What does this do for their confidence level, do you think?
I think it puts their confidence level through the roof, because that's the best team in pretty much the entire league.
Yeah.
It was by far the best defense in the league. They put a lot of points on them. They played well. But I think more than anything, too, it showed them the way to do it by staying, like we talked about, staying within themselves, doing their own job and no one else's, stepping in and being aware and knowing what you're supposed to do when the other guy goes down. That's all important in order if you're going to get to that type of team and become a championship-style team.
That's right. Now, we want to remind you that the next game telecast for us here will be coming up in a few weeks on May 28th when the Northern Arizona Wranglers come here. It'll be, again, broadcast on Cox Yearview, Arizona, the YouTube channel, and simulcast on Fox Sports Radio 1450 KTZR. Glenn, it was a real pleasure tonight. A lot of fun working with you.
I enjoyed it as well.
Hate to see Jay gone for a week, but I'm really glad that you were able to step in and do this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And you see the final statistics here as we get set to wrap up tonight's broadcast, and you see that, again, Glenn, you don't always have to win the battle of statistics. You only have to win one battle, and that's on the scoreboard, right?
That's right. You win the points. That if you got that down. But honestly, there's certain things that correlate to winning, and they had those. They didn't have the turnover. The Rattlers did. They didn't. Actually, had 2 of them if you count the 4th down. They didn't. They had better special teams play because they did the right thing all the time on special teams. They were good when they needed to be good. So, you know, a lot of those are hidden stats that no one counts, but that's the ones that win.
Certainly is. And tonight, the Sugar Skulls are a winner over the Arizona Rattlers. We have never said that before, and it sounds really good, and it's fun to say. Yes, the Sugar Skulls defeat the Rattlers 74 to 63. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the 28th for the next broadcast of Sugar Skulls Football. Sugar Skulls Football is a production of Simmons Media Group, directed by Greg Jones, a producer and technical director Derek Simmons, a graphic operator is Kayla Bushy, sound designed by Justice Miranda, camera operators Paul Durant, Josh Williams, Chris Peterson, and our executive producer Floyd Simmons. You guys all did such a great job tonight. We appreciate your hard work, and we also appreciate the hard work of the Tucson Sugar Skulls. For Glenn Parker, I'm Pat Paris. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Tucson Sugar Skulls Football.